We're back. It's time for the 2024 Urban NerdCon. Join us in Atlanta, Georgia, April 26th through the 28th at the Cortland Grand Hotel. Special guests include Underworld creator Kevin Grievous, Gary Gray from Fairly Odd Parents, from Nickelodeon, Giovanni Samuels, the Science Machine Michael Green, the Sci-Fi Sisters, and from Spaceballs and Star Trek Voyager, Tim Russ.
Hi, I'm Tim Russ. Join me April 26th through the 28th at the Cortland Grand Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia for the Urban NerdCon. Our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone con. I'll see you there. Live long and prosper.
Visit theurbannerdcon.net to get your buy one, get one free badges before the price increases. Remember, our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone's con. See you there.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to another live edition of the ONG Strike Zone. I'm Bryan Fulford. That's Kelvin Rozier. And soon to be joining us is none other than Marcus Green. And we are signed up. We turned in our NLIs to Coach Colzie at 6 a.m. or whenever they turned on the fax machine to let him know, Coach, we're ready to run it back. We're here to reload. We got this show is dedicated to you and the rest of the coaching staff. You know, Kelvin, I think I can still, push up a few 225s, just a few, maybe one, maybe two. How's your 40 time looking these days? How's your 40 looking?
I'm glad we recruit, man. I trust the recruits. You don't want me out there.
All right. There's Kelvin said you don't want me out there as a recruit. I hear you. Good to be back. I'm sitting here just trying to deal with a little bit of the technical things. I don't know why all of a sudden the stream is not looking good on our ONG Twitter feed, but it is looking good on the Black College Sports Network feed. I don't understand that for the life of me. I mean, and it's pushing to the same signal, so go figure that out. I don't know. All right. So happy National Signing Day, everybody. It's good to be on with you. We got a lot to talk about. A good recruiting class. I think a very good recruiting class for the class of 2024. Some of the names we already knew. A few surprises that we learned about today. And we'll talk about that. We'll go heavy into the recruiting today. A lot of the info, even get into some video clips of some of the guys, so on and so forth. We got a lot of another good week for FAMU athletes, getting a lot of praise and recognition in the SWAC.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Champions.
Champions.
We home's a champion.
Yes.
Get used to it. Hey, get used to it, SWAC. You got to deal with us. You got to come. You got to come see Tallahassee.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure on a lot of schools because FAMU's putting that, and we're not even. Man, look. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. We're not even operating at full. What is it? We're not. The Death Star is not fully operational. It's like half of the Death Star is there, and we could blow up a few ships. But wait till the Death Star gets fully operational and the SWAC feels the full force of the Rattler Galactic Empire. And Jesus, y'all gonna be in trouble. I'm gonna tell y'all, whenever we get it right, it's gonna be hell.
It's coming.
It's coming. I know it is. It's coming. It's coming. So how's the weekend been, Kelvin? How's your weekend been going?
Well, the weekend was okay. It was pretty good. Relaxed. Didn't do a whole lot this past weekend. Basketball was out of town, and the other events. So I kind of stayed around the house and got some things done around the house. This weekend is going to be pure madness, though. With all the events on campus, I also have a funeral to attend. So this weekend is just jam packed for me. But today, man, I'm really excited about what football did. I'm really excited about the volleyball recruits. We have a baseball recruit. So Marcus is gonna come and break it all down, and we don't have coach tonight because he's traveling.
Right.
But he will be on the show. We've got him booked.
Yes, yeah, great job on that, and can't wait to talk. Hopefully, some of you guys had a chance to watch the live show earlier this afternoon. If not, the replay has been there. I'm gonna first give a shout out to Josh Padilla. Westside Diddy did a great job hosting the one-on-one conversation with Coach Colzie and the two new recruits who actually two guys who signed early and are already on campus. We'll talk about Daniel Richardson, and we'll talk about Demore Tate coming up. Two guys who are in camp or on campus, I should say, on campus, and already in the weight room working. And so we got a lot of stuff to talk about regarding those guys. But first things first, let me say, if you are watching us, whether you're watching us on YouTube, whatever YouTube channel you're watching us on the Jericho Broadcast Network's YouTube page, of course, we are part of the Black College Sports Network. And so we just need you to go and hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed so that way you can get all the great content and shows, as well as live basketball action from the SIAC. We are one of the few networks that's not charging for HBCU basketball, and we're running multiple games on Saturdays. Again, hear me when I'm saying. And so you can watch not only live HBCU basketball, but some other sports as well upcoming from the Black College Sports Network. You might also be on our ONG StrikeZone YouTube page. We appreciate you for being there. You might be on Facebook watching us on the Black College Sports Network or the ONG StrikeZone, or you could be watching us on Twitter. I don't know if you're watching us from the ONG Twitter feed. I don't know what's going on with that. Or you could be on Instagram. So we are everywhere, trying to be everywhere we can be. So with that said, you ready to kind of do some roll call, some shout outs, Kelvin?
Let's do some shout outs to our people.
Yeah, exactly. And there you see any and all donations are greatly appreciated. You can always, if you were on YouTube, you can hit the super chat. You can do that. You can also hit that Cash App right there, or you can there's a Square, that QR code as well. You can hit that QR code. I don't promote that a lot, but we're trying to do some things. So any and all is helpful. The help goes towards us being able to do some things, some live content, some live shows, upgrade equipment. Hopefully my headphones stays well.
We got to do some road trips too, man. We got the Jackie Robinson Classic. I plan on heading it down there for that in February 25th, I think it is, through the 28th.
Yeah, down in Riviera Beach, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta. So yeah, any and all donations help go towards that. Help us to keep moving. So we appreciate everybody for coming in and helping. What I just do there. All right, let's kind of roll through. Let's see who we got here. We'll go through
Ken.
from the top of the order. Shout out to Ken coming in.
The high, and I'm giving him the honorary the high because his oldest daughter went to the high, and
All right.
you know, I just thought about it and never gave him a the high, so he gets a the high.
Well, there's one for Ken, and you got to get one more in there for
The
Melissa.
high.
Good to see you, Melissa. Good to see you. Dr. Lori, Doc,
What's
how
up,
you doing,
Doc?
Doc? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Of course, Doc, moderating the chat room, so you guys be on your best behavior.
Get him, Doc. Get him.
Don't be outrageous in the chat room. Meredith,
What's up,
hey,
Meredith?
how you doing, family? Yeah, we're gonna talk about some of these signees tonight. Marcus, good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Shout out to Marcus, and there's another Marcus who never say anything, but he always watch the show. And from time to time, he comes to talk to me. A more seasoned Marcus. What's up, Marcus?
Marcus, we love our Marcuses, and now of course our own Marcus Green will be coming on to join us a little bit later. Shout out Tony, how you doing, brother? The high, exactly. Hey, running it back. Look, when I looked at, dude, we really do have a run it back squad. I mean, I went back and when you look at when we look at the number of returnees.
Yes, sir.
Woo.
And the fact that the returnees are built at the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
On both sides. Essentially, we have both our defensive, our starter defensive line back, including our pass rushers on the end, and our offensive line back intact. So, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, it's an exciting time indeed. Tamara T, hold on, where'd it go? Damn it, I lost it. Hold on, I had it. I know Tamara was next up.
What's up, North Kakalaki?
Oh my goodness, where's it at? Evening.
What's up, champ?
Evening. What
Running
up,
back, champ?
Exactly. Ivan West, thanks for coming in and joining us. Exactly. Congratulations to Coach Colzie. Mary 305, good to see you, Mary. Thank you for coming in.
Mary?
Demetra, I saw your tweet. Demetra, great tweet earlier. She's excited, ready to talk about this recruiting class. B Starks, good to see you, champ.
B Starks?
Thank you for coming in. Kenya Sykes.
What's up, Kenya?
Rattlers, indeed. Good to see you. MMAC Web, good evening. Good to see you. Bull, we're right there with you. The quarterback race is going to be. Man, look, I would love.
Hey, iron sharpens iron, and I'm telling you, I know a lot of folks been talking about, a specific quarterback, but I have been saying the whole time that this thing should be open because we have guys on that roster who have some talent now. And I'm really excited to see with the addition of the two quarterbacks coming in and what we got returning. It's some serious competition. So I can't wait.
I'll tell you what I'm really excited about is I'm excited that the Coach Colzie and the new OC, he even talked about bringing in a QB coach. Just that new fresh energy is coming in onto that offensive side of the ball. And all of those guys, the existing and the new guys, you really are coming in with really a bit of a clean slate. You're getting a chance to really impress. And I know there's three guys in the room right now who've been a part of the program, but I think they get as much of a new shot as do the new guys. So this is it's fascinating. And I would love to just have a single dedicated person covering the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? I wish we had that kind of budget where we could just say, hey, we just want you to report and tell us about the quarterbacks. We want to know everything. I want you to follow them on campus. If somebody, doesn't open a door for a female, I want to know who it is. I want to know the guy who is leading the weight room. I just, You know what I'm saying? I just want to go deep diving into this
No,
quarterback
no,
battle.
no, no. I want to do all that now.
All right, I'm a
I
little,
want
a
to.
little bit.
I want to stalk nobody. You might see something you don't want to see.
Okay, all right. I might be a bit much. That's true. That's true. Chuck Hunt, thanks for coming in, checking in from
What's
Monroe,
up, Chuck?
Louisiana. Good to see you, Chuck. Let me see who else is out there. Mr. Campbell, Coach Campbell. Good to see you. Welcome coming in. Marcus will be here. Definitely, Marcus will be here, taking care of some business. So we'll hold it down.
You got to take care of the 8 to 5, but trust me, we got a lot of information for you.
He will be on the show, guaranteed. Marcus will be here. Montre Bennett,
What's
good
up,
to see you,
Montre?
Montre. Mike Reed, good to see you, Mike.
What's up, Road Dog?
Exactly, good to see you. Good to see you. Exactly. Our DB room is stacked. Nice. It is the DB room is stacked. Can you didn't like that? You didn't like my Death Star reference, huh? All right. Well, I'll have to figure out. You guys give me some new references there, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Derek Singleton, good to see you.
What's
Wait,
up? What's up,
Derek?
Mississippi Rattler, in the heart of JSU country?
Oh man, those JSU guys swear they got the #1 recruiting class. I
Who
may have to
cares?
challenge that.
Who cares? I mean,
Well,
that didn't do nothing for them last year.
no, it didn't. It didn't. And yeah, supposedly they had the #1 recruiting class last year. It didn't help much. But that's just it's sometimes good to be #1. And I'm one of those people that think stars matter. We'll talk about that.
We definitely talk about that. I'm with
some
you.
people don't think stars matter.
Hey, you can't say it don't matter because the teams with the stars usually are the ones who win the championships.
Thank you. Yeah,
they don't guarantee nothing, but it matters now.
It matters.
But we'll talk about it.
It matters. Hello, the Lady Rattlers look good.
What's up, Hollow? Hello, Hollow.
Hey, hello. I've never been so excited to talk about the Lady Rattlers. I could go on. I can go on about a 10-minute rant talking about women's basketball. And
as a matter of fact, hey Bryan, let's start off with basketball when we get into it. That give time Marcus to get in and do his thing. But yeah, I definitely want to talk about the women's basketball.
Yeah, we can definitely. Good. I appreciate you saying that. I went ahead and got the slides all ready for that. Jay Starks, good to see you.
What's up, Jay Stokes?
Yep. HBCU band talk. Hey,
what's up, BCU? Hey, I give BCU credit. They're doing a nice job. We want y'all to have some talent and be good because that's great for the classic. So y'all got a nice little squad y'all putting together, and I'm interested to see how it all comes together. I'm rooting for y'all to have a really good season, except for that last game.
I'm just coming through some of the comments here. I think Hollow might be talking about the interview that Josh did with the guys during the during the signing day thing. Campbell, let's see. You know what? I think the whole reason for Rattlers Plus is to draw people to Rattlers Plus. I get and I think Rattlers Plus also you can draw people to the app, which I think you can access via the app. So as good as YouTube is, and we use multiple streams and platforms here. I'm not gonna. I think going to the advantage of going to YouTube is to turn on the chat feature, but really they probably turn off the chat feature if it's like what they did for the press conference. They'll turn it off. So I think for what it was, they did a good job producing it and run it on the Rattlers Plus, in my opinion. And he was talking, I don't know, the 1400, that's the J State guys. They probably did a good show, I'm sure. All right. Let's see. I'm just trying to go through a few more people. I see Hitman jumps in. Good to see you.
What's up, Hitman?
Coming in, joining us. Did I miss anybody? I hate the Edwin
March
Moore.
100.
I see you, Edwin. Appreciate you. March 100. Paparazzi. Appreciate you coming in. LG. Thank you for coming in as well. Leonard.
Leonard
Chat. Thank you. Coming
LB.
in. Lawrence
Put
Brown.
Lawrence, I'm glad you're feeling better, brother. At least good enough to come on the show, man. I hope you continue to recover.
I was going to say that. I saw his post or his tweet. So we're hoping you're doing well. You're feeling well, Lawrence. So definitely prayers up and get better with your situation. JT coming in. Good to see you, family. Thanks for coming in. Alice McCullough. All right. From Riviera Beach. All right. Yeah, y'all go ahead. I like that. Go ahead and let us know where you're chiming in from. Let us know, go ahead and hit a real quick in the chat. Let us know where you're coming from. I want to see how far west, how far north to the northeast we got people watching and listening to the show. I see Sam Dixie in there. Good to see you, Sam. All right. Let me see. What was this here by Edwin? When FAMU broadcast on Famous last year, chat was in full effect. Exactly, and I think that might be why they kind of, I'm sure that may be a little bit of why they kind of, shied away from it.
Shout out my boy Jab. What's up, Jab? Former Rattler football player.
Yeah. All right. George Johnson right here in my backyard of Orlando. Got the ATL checking in. Delray Beach, the 404 from the 305. East Dallas checking in. Montgomery, Miami. Love to see it. I love to see this. We got to connect. Charlotte, North Carolina checking in. Let's see. What's EA always comes in with some good stuff. Let's see what we got. Let's make sure we also invest in recovery/rehab program with 12 games. Teams with the best prevention/recovery from injuries win the SWAC. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Very good point. Depth will also, and I think the position of bye weeks also is important. I like the position of our bye weeks, and we can get into deep conversations about that. All right. Before we go to our first break, can we talk about you want to talk about women's basketball now or when we come out of the break?
No, let's talk about it now. Let's jump on it.
Let's jump right on it, man. Exactly. And I see, hold on. We got our guy in. Our guy's here. He's checking in. Alert. Checking in from the great Northeast. None other than our brother.
I ain't got no money. I don't need caviar. Eddie Kane Jr., everybody. Eddie Kane Jr.
Coming in for the solo. Coming in for the solo part. Go ahead, Marcus.
I got nothing but love for you, baby. Welcome, Marcus. Welcome, man.
How you doing,
thank you.
That's good. How's the weather in your neck of the woods?
Not bad. It's like 50 degrees up here.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Warming doesn't exist. Just saying. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Well, obviously everybody's happy to see you, Marcus, because everybody's itching. Everybody's itching to talk about signing day and all these great signees and all these great nuggets and information. So we'll get into that here shortly. But we got to talk about our women's basketball because I looked at this. Man, hold on. Let me just put this up. Okay. All right. So we went to Alabama. And you know what I've called Alabama, right? Famabama. There's a reason why I call it Famabama. We own that state. Now, somebody didn't tell the men's basketball program that. They dropped the ball and missed the memo. But damn it, the ladies, they knew the memo. They got the memo. And look, that game on Saturday was absolutely drunk and ridiculous. We outscored. Look, we were missing two of our top six, probably two starters, at least two of our top six players. Sylvester and Nashani didn't play, right? But we still had, I believe it was at the end of we outscored Alabama A&M 27-7 in the third quarter.
Yep.
Statistically speaking, when you go and look at what Alabama A&M shot in the first, second, and third quarter, I don't know what was the lead at the end of 3. Was it maybe 15, 16, 17?
17. Yeah.
17. It probably should have been 30. Given the way that Alabama A&M shot, I think they made like 5 field goals in one quarter, 2 in another, 3 in another. Literally, that's all the field goals they made, and they were shooting like 18, 17, 16 field goals. And then all of a sudden, it's like, I don't know if we got tired or somebody just got hot. Somebody, something in the juice that they were drinking, and they just went off. They ended up shooting 14 of 20. I know you put it in here, but I remember it because we were talking about it the other day on Sunday. They went 14 of 20 from the field, some ridiculous 6 of 10 from the 3-point line, ended up outscoring us, and it came down to it wasn't quite a last-second shot, but, I mean,
I
with
think
the score
it was
tied
about
at
9 seconds left. Yeah.
Yeah. A young lady who, I mean, she looked every part of about 6'3", caught the ball at the elbow at the free throw line, and she turned with a girl Gardner, with a defender in her face, and because of the motion of her shot, which is kind of one of those over the head Jamal Wilkes, almost, those of you, I'm going way back here now. So all of you old heads, if you remember how Jamal Wilkes used to shoot,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, he shot it but because of her height, it looked good. The fact that she caught it was up here over her head and just dropped it in the bucket. I mean, it was so smooth. Our defender never had a shot at blocking it. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And so shot goes in. They end up beating us 71-69. And yes, fortunately we weren't the only team that blew a big lead over the weekend in SWAC women's basketball. Those of you who saw my timeline, you know what I'm talking about. As Southern blew almost as big a lead as we did against Jackson State on Monday night. But Ariana dropped 31 in a game high 31, only to be matched by the young lady from Alabama A&M who dropped 30. I mean, we're talking, when's the last time you've seen 2 30-point games, men or women? I mean, really, awesome game. And but we just turned around from that and just went out the next night. And the defense, we held Alabama State to 40. 40, that's 10 points a quarter in Division I college basketball. That's bad. That's great defense for us. I mean, hell, we only scored 49, so hell, what am I saying here? But the fact that we turned around after a disappointing game, I think Shawnee came back the next night against Alabama State. But what reason I'm saying all that is because looking at the standings, the Lady Rattlers are sitting in 8th place. And the crazy part is, if we hold on to that lead, fellas, we're actually in 4th place because Alabama A&M is sitting in 4th place right now. We would technically be where Alabama A&M is, probably sitting in the number 4 or 5 spot right now in the conference. That's amazing.
Let me tell you something even more crazier to me. Jackson State is undefeated.
Yeah.
Pine Bluff is right behind them.
Right.
Both of those teams, we were leading at half and or going into the 4th quarter within striking distance, undermanned. We just don't have the numbers right now to sustain. But what I would say is this: at the rate we playing right now, we get Sylvester back. We got one of the girls back, I think, Monday. As long as we stay healthy, we're gonna be a tough out, man. As a 7th seed, 6th seed, wherever we end up at, we get to the tournament, we're gonna be a really tough out. It's going and be able to say that now compared to when we started this season, when we hired this coach, man. This this is something to brag about. I'm proud of this team because we're getting everything we can out of this team, and it's actually a pretty good basketball to watch, right?
Yeah.
It's entertaining, so kudos.
And we're doing it right now. That young lady right there, Ariana Grizzle, has been playing out of her mind.
Yes.
I mean, since the UAPB game, and I mean, first off, hold on, I'll get to those stats in a second. But Ariana's performance over the last 2 games earned her SWAC Player of the Week, back-to-back weeks, 2-time SWAC Player of the Week.
Earned it.
Yeah, she earned it. Amaya Simmons is the young lady from Alabama A&M who dropped the 30 in that game where we played against them. But listen to these numbers in the last 2 games. And I think I got that stat up here. Yeah, the last 2 games, Ariana has averaged 28.5 a game, 6.5 rebounds, shot 86% from the arc, 3.5 steals, and 3 assists. Those are the last 2 games. And there you see the individual numbers where she dropped 31 points in 39 minutes against Alabama A&M, which should have been a win. And then she turned around at Alabama State, scoring 26 in 38 minutes. She's been the game high scorer in 5 straight games. It's almost like, fellas, and this is all since the UAPB game, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like Coach Gordon had a come to Jesus or just kind of reminded Ariana, hey, baby, this is what you saw what Zay Green did today against us. That's you. You are capable of that every night. And that's what we need every night. And it's like Ariana took that to heart, and I'm just channeling Coach Gordon here. So maybe she didn't say it, but I've stood 3 feet behind Coach Gordon, so I feel like I kind of understand her a lot. I feel like that's what I would have said if I was in those shoes, saying, Ariana, in order for us to get anywhere in this league, in this tournament, you got to do what Zay Green has been doing for UAPB. And doggone it, she's done it. She has done it, man. Look at these numbers over the last 5 games. Last 5 games since the UAPB game. She's playing 38.4 game. Now, again, 192 total minutes out of 200. She's averaging 25.4, 6 rebounds a game. But look at the 3-point shooting and the free throw percentage that she's playing with. She's getting to the line. That's almost 7, if you did the math, 75, 5 times 7, that's 35. Almost 7 free throw attempts a game, making about 6 of them. And again, the team record, we're 3-2, but we all know we probably should be 4-1. That's what player of the year, that's what they do. And
Yeah.
I mean, we are at the halfway point in the season, and I know Zay Green is she's it. She's her, as Liv would say. She's her. I get it. And the girls from Jackson State, they're them. but Ariana Grizzle, she's that ish. As Liv said, she is a walking bucket.
Yeah.
Well, she's
Walking.
in comparison, she's doing more for her team than any of those other ones you call now. Because we got games where we only getting 3 people scoring at all, not in double digits at all. We only got 2 that consistently scoring double digits. So she has to be the point guard and the primary scorer for us to be effective, and she's delivering. So it's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, again, and we're at the halfway. This is pretty much the halfway point of the season, of the SWAC schedule,
Right.
conference schedule. We're 4-5, and again, we're 4-5, having played a triple overtime game against Grambling that we probably should have won. And then if you look at the game we lost to Alabama A&M, that's 2 games that you could, if you want to do that, you could say, man, we really could be 6-1 what's that? 6-3, and 6-3 would put us at number 2 or 3 in the conference right now. Instead, we are what we are. We're 8, but I mean that just tells you we're probably as right at where we probably are realistically at 8, but we could be like 3rd or 4th best in this division, in this conference.
Man, if we can stay healthy and maybe get 1 or 2 pieces back, we could be trouble.
Yeah, and Marching 100 Paparazzi, exactly. Look, Grizzle, look, she it's not like she's doing it alone. She's doing it at a high level. Olivia Delancey's been playing. She's been balling too. I mean, right there, she's, you know, you want to call it Batman and Robin, or I don't know, give me a female dynamic duo, whatever you want, however you want to call it, the 1 and 2, whatever it is. Grizzle and Delancey are that. We just need, like you said, Kelvin, we just got to have some health and some more minutes and time from the other team, or from the rest of the team.
I think Sylvester and Gilbert, Nashani Gilbert, are the 2 that gonna be key for us to make a real run these last 5 games.
Right. And I'll tell you, you know, if we can mirror this in the second half, you know, upcoming this weekend, looking at the schedule, we've got Texas Southern and Prairie View. Saturday is against Texas Southern. Monday is home against Prairie View. You know, Texas Southern is below us in the standings, so we need to keep it that way. Prairie View is in front of us by a game, so that'll probably be more competitive. But the way we're playing, if we get everybody back, you know, and so who knows? We could go to Jackson a week from Saturday, on a 3-game win streak. It's very possible that we could go to Jackson like that, and that'll be good. That'll be a good place to be. So, good stuff. I enjoy talking about this team, man, and especially when we got an MVP. And I've been saying it. I've been Grizzle for MVP. Hashtag Grizzle for MVP, man, because she is it. She is it. People should come to the Lawson Center with just a bucket on Saturday and just put Grizzle's name, put like a sheet of paper, and just walk around Lawson with a bucket, because put Grizzle for MVP on the bucket. That's a great promotion.
If she wants, I was thinking about this morning. If she wants an NIL deal, I don't know if that KFC is still down the street on Monroe.
Look at Marcus thinking out the
She
box.
hook up with KFC.
Hey, somebody who's an NIL agent, you better get to Ariana Grizzle and that KFC bucket.
Yeah, chicken does have grizzles. And some of us old heads eat the grizzle.
Hey. Oh, wow. Well, I think we just went next level here with the NIL promotion. So there you go. Congratulations, Ariana. We done hooked you up with KFC. Anybody out there, Rattlers Local Exchange, somebody hit up the local KFC or any restaurant with a bucket, because she's a walk-in bucket.
That's right.
JT asked, is she a senior? She's actually a grad senior, so I think this is her final year of eligibility.
Yeah, we're gonna need some buckets next year.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny looking. She only played 20 games last season. I think she had some injuries. Only played 20 games, so she's right at and what's funny is she played more minutes last year per game, average wise. Now, again, these 5 games are extraordinary. Again, the 38 minutes a game she's playing right now is way above her average, and probably, you know, coach would probably love to give her a little rest. But what you're getting, the volume that you're getting, I mean, she's leading the league in scoring. The volume you're getting from Ariana Grizzle right now is unreal, man. I shouldn't say it's unreal. It's maybe for what we've seen in the Rattler program since probably Liv Antilla played for FAMU. We ain't had this kind of production since Liv played for FAMU. Let's go. Shout out to our girl Liv for Hoops. Make sure you follow her on social media, Twitter, Instagram, at Live for Hoops. And pretty soon she's gonna get on the bandwagon and start promoting Grizzle for MVP. I know she'll talk about Zay Green all day until she's tired, but it's getting to that point. Couple more good weekends like this, man, and we'll be talking about Grizzle in the conversation. All right, we're gonna get into talking about this recruiting class coming up on the other side of the break. Marcus, I don't know if we can. I don't care if we're talking here or offline, but I saw your message. Do you need to share another document with me, or how do you want to? Do you need me to share a doc, or you want me to? I have access to the doc previously.
Let me see. Well, I don't have any more space in my Google, so I don't know if I can upload the document. So I don't know if you can copy it and then you can share it and I can upload stuff.
Yeah, I'll try to do that. And that'll get us ready here coming up on the other side. So
and it'll be a work in progress.
Yeah, work in progress. All right, so we'll take care of that. Let's take a short break and come back and get into talking about this recruiting class.
Running back class. That's what I'm calling it. The running back class.
The running back class. There you go. I like it. There you heard it right here on the ONG Strike Zone. So if anybody else comes up with it, you make sure you give us some credit. At ONG Strike Zone, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hit the thumbs up and the like button wherever you're watching us. We'll be back in just a moment after these words.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em. It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida, 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
All right, welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus here. I gotta make sure we mention. And Marcus brought this up. You said you saw this on Twitter, Marcus.
I did.
Talking about. So let me. Whose account was it on from? Was it
It's from
Sykes?
her. VP80 Sykes.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's recent.
Yeah. So I did want to make mention that today is definitely National Girls and Women in Sports Day nationwide. So we want to acknowledge all of the girls and women in sports, from the highest on top, of course, even our athletic director, VP Sykes, on her Twitter feed. I know she just posted a photo with FAMU Hall of Famer and women's basketball alum Natalie White, as well as Carrie Hines, who is her title, it says Chief
Fox Sports.
She works for Fox Sports. That's what she with. Okay, yeah, Executive Vice President of Communications at Fox Sports. Okay, and so I'm sure they're at the Super Bowl. You know, Sykes, she gets out to these big time events, and of course Natalie's there as well. So, and then there's others. Obviously, you know, I saw Ty Floyd, our good friend of the program. You know, she's a young lady who's getting into, you know, only a few years from, you know, graduating, but she's blazing her trail and trying to get things going in the sports media industry. And of course, she's got her mentors that she was shouting out earlier, folks like Laura. I think is it Oakman? I think it is. Oakman. I saw
Pam Oliver.
Oliver.
Oliver, Tiffany Green. Shout out to those Rattlers, and of course there's others. Of course, all of our coaches. So I mean, just a day to celebrate women in sports. A great day to celebrate them. And I thought we and you know, not even thinking about it unconsciously, we did that at the beginning of our show, recognizing the outstanding efforts of our women's basketball team, and of course,
I knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming. You know you paying for that, EA. That damn 200,000. Let me stop. That y'all free. I shouldn't do that. I'm sorry. She gets around. She don't need to do that. She don't need to. Anyway, but shout out, and of course, shout out to Coach Bridget Gordon, the GOATs, one of the GOATs in women's basketball, who is our head women's basketball coach. All right. You have the other slide that I also have, don't you, Marcus? So here's what I thought we'd do while we're putting together our other slide here. I thought we'll start with just the basics, of course. National Signing Day. Of course, the Rattlers defending SWAC champions, defending Celebration Bowl champions.
HBCU national champions, HBCU undisputed.
National champions, undisputed. Great intel. Okay, starting off with, we talk about key returners, and I think it's real important to kind of talk about who's coming back, because when I see some all SWAC guys here, and I see some big time names in this list here. Of course, obviously up front, General Hunt and Anthony Dunn Jr., along with Alan Smith Jr., James Ash,
Big
Sharif
James
Smith.
Ash. Yeah.
That's
a front four.
Yeah, that is a heck of a front four. It is a heck of a front four. We did get Hunt back. We had to get him out of the for a minute. He was on in the portal.
Now, while you're on that slide, Brian,
Yeah.
I think I have it up. I'm not going to present it, but we talked about it before at the beginning of the season. We talked about those positions that going into the season based on their classification, which were going to be gap areas, and defensive line was one. We had 5 graduates or people who registered graduates, didn't say for a first year graduate or second year. 2 who are redshirt seniors and 1 who is a senior, all on the defensive line. So to get those folks back is good, but we still have some work to do. And I think we signed 2 defensive linemen today. At least, well,
Yes.
we had one. Well, I'm sorry. We had 1 who committed and signed in December, and we had a high schooler signed today. So we still got some work to do on the defensive line. And there are a couple other key positions that Coach Colzie mentioned where they're looking to add depth, and it makes sense based on our preseason look at our roster analysis in terms of who would be rotating out, graduating, not only from a talent standpoint, but from a sheer depth standpoint.
But coach sounded, and we'll talk about that high school recruit because coach sounded really excited. I mean, I don't think we've lost anything on the defensive line. I think just plug and play. I think anybody we've lost, like, we've just plugged in a new name that people are going to get from, and some of these guys have been there. So it's like,
But 3 of them were starters, and the other 3 who returning played a lot. So, Hunt was a starter, Dunn was a starter, Smith was a sometime starter. Sharif, Big Ash started a couple of games, but but he played a lot. So those 5 guys played a ton of ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see kind of what the depth
and DB. Let me just with this slide, the DB returning. That size. Look at the size of those guys who's returning.
Hold on before you go to DB. Hold on before you go to DB, because I think we need to answer some of the questions people have.
We're gonna go back linebacker. We know we're talking about Chaney, but okay. Yeah, I just wanted to point out because we brought in some more long defenders also on the back end there. Guys who can both cover and hit. So Deco Wilson, man, became a starter, and he was great at safety. We know Bowler is a preseason first team All-American. Frazier has the size, 6'3", long corner. Highly thought of. Took himself out of the portal, and then we talked about Lloyd. And Lloyd, I think he flashed Ashley in the spring game last year, and again, just a great foundation to build on. And this is what's returning that already has a ring.
Right. I heard Coach mention that as it relates to those DBs, obviously, well, more so in terms of the defense, that he's sticking with the 4-2-5. Okay, so even though we have lost Ryan Smith, we don't quite know if Milton Patterson. Coach did say that he had. I saw his press conference, which he had before the live session. He did say that he has interviewed for not only the defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator position. He says he is still going to be a coach, probably over the DBs, but also heavily involved with the defense. And I got the impression that he was looking to bring in a quarterback coach as well. He even talked about shuffling some guys. So it'll be interesting to see who becomes. I know we're talking defense here, but I just wanted to mention that in terms of the 4-2-5. And then he also mentioned that Kendall Bowler was moving into that role that Eric Smith was in. So it's like, it almost seemed like a lot of people were throwing towards Bowler, which I think was a mistake all season. I mean, Bowler has got NFL pro potential written all over him, especially after his junior season, I thought. But what's the difference? What can you break down in terms of the difference, Kelvin, in the role that Bowler played this year and that Eric Smith position?
It's a hybrid position, and one, I think NFL teams want to see that versatility, a guy who can perhaps play corner, perhaps play safety, or and he's got decent enough size where he could play a hybrid, and they have film on him as a just a regular cover corner, but I think with his talent level and the fact that we have other players who can man the outside, I think his ability or potential to make plays and show a little more range, both in the run and pass game, which is what the hybrid position that Eric Smith played is going to bode well. He'll line up with maybe backside of the backfield, tight end sometime. I think it'll be a good matchup for him of the third receiver. So I'm interested to see how that works. Especially when we talk about the guys we brought in the defensive backfield.
Let's see. Just looking at the comments, EA said the most important position on that defense is the nickelback position. It looks like, I don't know, our defensive back is come. I mean, if you just imagine, those 5 returners all starting, and that's not guaranteed. I'm just obviously because of some of the recruits that we have in. There's no guarantee. And we'll talk about those guys who are coming in. They're going to challenge big time for this starting spot. Might
and
be
that was a recurring theme. That was a recurring theme. Coach said as competition at all positions.
EA said, "Are we mistaking Eric Smith with Kamani King?" No, I don't think so. No, Coach Colzie flat out said that. I didn't hear him mention Kamani King at all. He mentioned that Kendall Bowler was moving to the spot that Eric Smith played in that defense. I missed the technical name for that position, but that's what he said he's moving to. I mean, I can go back and read the transcript from that press.
I think he was just like the nickel. He was the fifth DB, which made him a hybrid. He had to support. He could support in the run and pass.
Right. Now the linebackers you mentioned, Eric Horn or not Eric? Eric Horn. Is there another linebacker in
Watson?
That mix?
Watson.
Okay.
From Atlanta.
Michael Watson.
Okay.
Yeah.
To our knowledge right now, who was it who asked the question about Campbell? Asked about Chaney. Right now, Chaney's still in the portal. We don't know if I haven't seen anything yet. Marcus, have you seen anything regarding John Chaney committing to anywhere yet, or to the best of your knowledge,
I
he's
haven't.
still in the portal? Okay. Is he going to Murray State with Smitty Rock? Who knows? It's anything. Who knows? I mean, it might be something that happens. But I think when you here's what I got a sense of. Coach Colzie did a great job of re-recruiting his guys, or our guys, and I think he had to do that. And the good part is, yes, we lost our head coach. Yes, we lost our defensive coordinator. And no shade or disrespect to Troy Johnson, who's that football ops position is a position that I know he's looking to fill. I did not hear anything about rehiring a recruiting coordinator this season. So, I don't know. Well, prior to Coach Rispress, Coach Simmons didn't have a recruiting coordinator, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-mm.
He didn't
Not
have
a
a
formal, not a
standalone
standalone position.
off
Yeah,
the
coach.
field position, right?
Coach was doing double duty, or
Yeah,
some coach. 'Cause I
right.
think we started out. I forgot who it was when we first started. Was it Kenneth Gilstrap?
Mhm.
And then maybe when he left, I can't remember if it went to Coach Henry or Smitty Rock. But I mean, it moved around. It was like double duty until
Right.
he hired Rispress 2 years ago.
Which is how it typically is in most FCS and HBCUs. Most of them don't have a off the field dedicated recruiter at our level.
Right. Okay. And so anything else there regarding the returners? Do you want to I
Just
kind of huh?
just with the linebackers, I just want to emphasize, if Chaney comes back, then we're really looking good, because Isaiah Major, we lost him. Now if Chaney does end up leaving, then losing him and Isaiah Major is pretty big, because they have the experience in the production over the last 2 years. I mean, they two of the top three leading tacklers on the team, so that would be huge. Even though we have talent guys who did play behind them, but so Chaney would be icing on the cake if he comes out of that portal.
I do think there is a possibility of him coming back. I personally think that.
Yes, I
Uh,
think so too.
when you look at the guys who were in the portal, guys like even a General Hunt, I believe wasn't Deco Wilson and wasn't Frazier also in the portal for a quick second?
Frazier
Frazier was.
was. Deco
Yeah.
wasn't.
Okay.
Deco wasn't.
Okay. So those guys this coming back, um, and like I said, I mean, Colzie was a defensive guy, so you got to believe we're gonna maintain some strength and stability in that defense. And for Chaney, it's like, hey, look, man, you were a starter. You're a starter. We're keeping that same 4-2-5. It's a great opportunity. Why go somewhere else and have to learn a new defensive system? Why have to learn? These are
Yeah,
your brothers, the guys that you played with.
and he'll
Go ahead. I think you're about to say.
yeah he'll have he'll have an opportunity to be the defensive player of the year
Thank you. That's what I
candidate,
thought.
coming in
Yep.
first team All-American.
First team all
He's
SWAC.
he's
Yep.
on
All
a
that stuff.
defense that he's on a defense where you got guys in the pros. Marquise Bell's the HBCU NFL Player of the Year. So I don't really see a situation that he'll go to that will put him in a better position for the future right now. Definitely, it wouldn't be Murray State. So have another championship run. So hopefully, he'll look at all that and he'll come back.
Lovey Jenkins, another person who's in the portal. Not sure. You haven't seen him commit anywhere else. But I think he was a grad. He may have already graduated or met his requirements for graduation, so he might be going into the portal.
Both of them are.
Yeah. Just kind of looking through some of the defensive notes. I want to come back to the thoughts about the recruiting coordinator thing. I'm gonna star those and come back to those in a second. All right, so let's do. So do you want to go right into maybe talking about some of the recruits from the defensive side before we talk about key returners on offense, or how do you want to? What's your thought?
Yes.
What are you ready for, Marcus?
Yes.
Kelvin's ready.
We'll go right ahead. Yes.
I love it. Okay. All right. So these are the new returners, guys that we already signed. And I know. Let me see, Marcus. You got the other slide ready. You've added some stuff to it, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm still adding a little bit, but I'm getting close.
All right. Well, I'm gonna. All right, go ahead and go through that list, Kelvin. While I'm looking for this, go ahead and talk about that list of names there that you see.
Well, we talked about Marcus talked about defensive line being an area of need. We lost about 4 interior D linemen. So and I heard Coach Colzie talk about having some of these guys come in and be able to hopefully compete right away. Montre Edwards played quite a bit in community college in Mississippi as a D lineman. Got good measurables. Everybody's in the 6'2", 6'3" range, 300-pound range. So he would be someone who would plug in nicely to that 4-2-5. Then Tate is an interesting guy, and the reason Tate is an interesting guy, he came out of high school like a 5-star, and he's a very long guy. And for whatever reason, I think he got hurt one year at Florida State, and then he sat out a year, and then he kind of disappeared for a year. And so it's not. We know from a talent standpoint, coming out of high school, what he is, and we know what his measurements are. So his upside could be really high, but because he just not have been on the field in the last couple of years, you want to see if and we'll know right away, because Marquise was like that when he first came to FAMU. After about 3-4 practices, we knew we had stole one, right? and Marquise has that kind of size. He has Marquise type size, 6'2", 6'3" kid, about 210. So I'm really interested to see, what he looks like when he gets with the rest of the squad.
Yeah, just so pulling up a little bit of the tape on Tate, so that's just some of his. I think this is the high school stuff. So he graduated. He came out when? What's the background, Marcus?
I think 2020. Let me double check. I have him already because we, I guess, technically signed him in the early. I don't know what the. Yeah, he came out in 2020, but he doesn't have a lot of mileage. I mean, well, I want to put it like that, but I mean, he got hurt his first year at FSU. 2021 didn't play a whole lot. I think 2022 is when he jumped in the portal, and so he's been out a year. So, in terms of physical wear and tear, he doesn't seem to have a lot. And he kind of shot up the charts in high school, and I guess he was seen at a game, I want to say like 8th or 9th grade, and he just like took off from there.
Well, he's a freak of nature. I mean, he's a long kid and very athletic with long strides, man. I mean, he fits the profile. You don't get to be a 5-star without without some production and some talent. So he looks the part as a high school player. We have to see what he looks like at FAMU.
And he played in the highest classification in Florida. He played at Freedom's at Class 8A.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't make the playoffs his senior year, but that's you can't make a direct correlation to that.
Yeah, he might have been the best player on an average team. I'll just be honest. Freedom is not the
football juggernaut.
It's not a football juggernaut in Central Florida in Orlando.
Right.
Let me be kind about how I say it. So he was the shining star, on an okay team, and probably the work that he did at those camps is probably, where he shined most. And of course, as you kind of see in these highlights, he probably played everything from DB to special teams, because he was your best athlete by far and away. Probably did a little bit of running back or some other stuff too. I mean, it's just ridiculous what the kid can do. Now, you brought up this 5-star rating. Look, our good friend of the program, Stan Beckton of the NCAA.com had put out a tweet earlier saying that what was Stan's tweet? I'm paraphrasing that.
I don't remember exactly, but basically, don't rely on all these stars for somebody who has no film and very little playing time at the college level.
I want to be fair to Stan. I'm gonna look up the exact tweet because I thought it was. I was like, come on, Stan, don't do that on National Signing Day, man. Come on,
And not everyone is the same situation is what I would say. It'd be different if you was at a school 3-4 years and you never broke the line. But in his case, it's very different. He's very unique. He's a unicorn because, like you say, he got hurt his year one. He redshirted year two, and then he was in a portal and he missed the entire year. So literally, he's not been around or available to get in the film at this point. So,
so the tweet this morning, and that's what caught me. It was like 8 a.m. in the morning. It's like, come on, Stan, 8 a.m. Really? I'm like 9:35. I'm sorry. I'm like, Stan, it's early. It's National Signing Day. We're excited. And Stan says, FBS football programs, ... We do not care if a player had stars coming out of high school, if he's played multiple years of college before he transferred with no stats to back up that ranking. And I was just like, well, Stan, I mean, that's how every kid is evaluated based on the rankings and these stars. Now, we know sometimes they're flawed.
Yeah.
But damn, I mean,
and maybe 2 and 3 stars, but I would tell you the stars that when they get 4 and 5, they matter. And Calvin Ashley, who's still playing professionally, came to us and starred. He didn't dominate as much. There was other things you had to deal with there. And then, of course, Marquise, who was like a 4-star coming out, he was the best player as soon as he got here. So when you get those guys, and he didn't have any stats at Maryland. He did go JUCO though for a year. But so I mean, you can't just make one broad general statement like that. But I would say Alabama win not because of Nick Saban. What if to find out? It was because Nick Saban being able to, it was because Nick Saban being able to coach 4 and 5 stars all the time, having 5 stars on the bench. Same thing with Georgia. Same thing with Ohio State.
Georgia. Exactly.
So,
right.
So you can miss me with stars don't matter because teams with the stars, they compete for a championship every year.
Yeah.
When they got them in spades.
Yeah. Let's talk about another defensive player. How about that name at the top of the list? Montre Edwards. I got the video from Montre coming out of go ahead and talk about where Montre's coming out of there.
Well, actually, originally signed with I want to say Missouri. So I think he was either 2019 or 2020, and he was like a 3 or 4-star coming out. And I think he went to Missouri, then maybe Southern Miss, and then ended up at Copiah Lincoln. But it looks like he started out with the size to be a DN, but now he looks like he's growing into a defensive tackle. So he'll probably be a hybrid that might move in and out, kind of like almost how Kamari Stevens did a couple years ago, before he went exclusively on the outside that last year with us, where he kind of had a breakout season.
And really good movement, a really good burst, a really good first step, fast off the ball, especially for interior D lineman with his size.
Yeah, appreciate that. Derek Singleton dropping in there. That he was coached on the defense by Maurice Johnson, FAMU class of '99. So I got to believe, Coach Johnson connected there with whether it be Coach Colzie or if it was, I know Coach Colzie said Rispris. I know both of them were in those neck of the woods at those JUCOs. And Montre he's at FAM. I know he
signed early. He was an early.
He did, and I know he would. I hope I'm not telling too much. He would hit us up asking if we knew any info on the coaching search, and I'm like, Montre, we know about as much as you, brother. We know, but hang tight. Rattler Nation. I kept giving him Kelvin's line. Rattler Nation's gonna take care of it. And so, sure enough, Rattler Nation took care of it. But yeah, he's a big get for us on the defensive end.
I think I'm good. You can refresh.
Did you
you
get
have
Montre's? What was Montre at? 6'3", 290. 6'3", 290. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Okay, let me get this one more play in here to see Montre doing some work there. All right.
Somebody out of bounds.
Yeah. All right. Another name while we're up front. Now, this name hasn't officially signed yet, but I believe he's committed. Coach Colzie talked about him in his presser. So, I mean, when you talk about him, I'm pretty sure that.
So he signed, and he just probably just was getting cleared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't talk about him if you mention him by name.
Yes. Oh, he mentioned him by name. I mean, hell, I've never seen Coach Colzie look so happy.
Well, he signed then.
Yeah. Okay. And just in case you don't know, and he is listed in the Sentinel, and we're talking about Brecken Harold. Harold, the defensive lineman from Chaminade, Madonna. They were
powerhouse.
Number
two in the nation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he transferred in over from Cardinal Gibbons last year. We offered him basically like a year ago, and he made second team All Broward for the Miami Herald 2 years in a row.
Does everybody's huddle film start with the same music? I'm just curious.
I think so. Pretty much.
But Brecken Harold from Chaminade, Madonna, I believe 6'3",
300.
6'3", 300. Coach Colzie said he walks and looks the part.
Absolutely.
He was so happy. I mean, I quoted Coach Colzie talked about this young man coming in and making an immediate impact up front. I mean, he was really excited. I mean, of all the people I mean, I know he was excited. He was really almost could hold him back. You know, Colzie doesn't show a lot of he shows good emotion, but he was really excited about this.
So people who don't know, Chaminade has won like 6 championships in the last 8 years. And they are on the lower level, like they're like what 3A or something like that. But they play all.
I think 1A.
1A.
Yeah. But they play all upper level schools, right? They play a national schedule, and they win. They beat them all, right? So
and they had arguably the number one player in the nation this year, Jeremiah Smith, a wide receiver. So they're always stacked. I mean, between them,
powerhouse.
Aquinas, and typically Central. I mean, like if those 3 teams were to combine, you could probably there might be some FCS teams in trouble.
Well, that's why they were trying to change some of the classifications, or they were trying to change the rules in the state of Florida, because you have these one-off programs like Chaminade and St. Thomas Aquinas that beat up everybody in their class, and it's like they want to take like the top 14, 15, 16 teams and make a playoff with just the best of the best. And Chaminade would be in that category, along with, whoever else you would consider your best of the best, Central, so on and so forth.
That's a big get though. That is a big get. A player from a program like this with the credentials, because Cardinal Mooney the other year I think played for a state title. I know they went to the deep in the playoffs if they didn't play 2 years ago when he was on that team. So the brother's the winner.
Yes, and it's also good for us to make some inroads at some of these powerhouse programs, because I know for years, we had. It didn't seem like we would be able to get anybody from St. Thomas Aquinas, from Central, from Chaminade Madonna, from Venice, from the teams that are typically annually in the playoffs and sending players to, well, all over the place, but typically schools you see on Saturdays competing for the 4 college football playoff spots. So if we can start making inroads there, then we'll be doing something consistent inroads.
Yeah.
I got another video here. Defensive back Jamil Sanders transfer from South Florida. We talked about that defensive backfield just getting tougher and better. This is tape from Sanders from his spring camp 2022. So this would have been going into what is his classification, Marcus?
He is, let me double check.
This would have been 2 seasons ago. So I don't know.
He came out in 21. He's class of 21. It's because he went to Lackawanna Community College. Then he came to USF.
Okay. Yeah. So this was very early in his.
So if it was spring 22, it may have been when he was in junior college.
Okay, that's what some of that looks like. It looked like there was a mix of some USF there, as well as some junior college practice. But again, this said spring 2022, so you probably got a little mix of both in here. This is probably what attracted him to USF, or what USF was attracted to when they saw him.
And I imagine the effort we had against USF this year probably made us a legitimate consideration in his mind, especially after Alabama come the next week and they played toe-to-toe with Alabama and had a fight of their life with FAMU. So
yeah. So 6'1", 196.
Another longer corner, a defender.
Exactly. All right. Good stuff there. Trying to look here and just to see if I have any other video from the defensive side of the ball. No, I think I hit it. I showed McGee also signing Derek McGee. Derek McGee. Now, he wasn't as of this was part of that show. He hadn't officially signed, but I did see
he posted right before we went on, 5 minutes before we went on.
Okay. So he posted. So
and they signed FSU's Florida High had their signing program around 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up. I got the film here from McGee's senior year, from Derek McGee, class of 24. As you can see, some of his stats at Florida High. Marcus, give a little. What are his size and measurements there for McGee?
It's 5'11", 210. He made, I think he made second team All Big Ben. I thought I had that here, but he made second team All Big Ben as a player, and local kids staying and given what we play at linebacker. He's got a shot, definitely a shot at special teams and working his way up. But when somebody from a story program that typically makes the playoffs, so he's not going to be rattled by
Chaminade, Tallahassee Lincoln. Florida High is like the top program along with Lincoln in the city. Been going to the playoffs. I played for a championship, I believe, 2 years ago. And like I say, they played the Chaminades and the Pensacola Catholics and all the different schools. And so another winner, another guy who's played a lot of football.
So he's not going to be rattled by that. And I think Florida High's been at least to the regional finals, maybe the semis and the finals, like the last 3 or 4 years. So they've been making progress in terms of the program. So they're not, and his stature in the program just to be, that was a rough tackle. Yeah. I mean, second team all Big Ben, that's a nice accolade.
Hey, and just a violent hitter. There's a kid who loves violence. I mean, that's what I like in that he knows where the ball is. He hits people. A violent hitter. I mean, that's tough, man.
Yeah,
that is tough.
Yeah, he made second team defense for all Big Ben. I haven't seen the Florida High School Football.com usually puts out their all state team. So I haven't seen if he any of our folks have made that team yet. Well, I guess there's only 2 or 3 high school signees that we would worry about, but
the only let's see. So you see, as of now,
Woo!
what I missed.
So he was a blocker, a lead blocker on special teams. Man, he just
blew
one of those gunners. One of those gunners who was coming down, he just blew him right up, put him right on his back.
I told you, this kid,
very physical
violent,
kid,
physical, violent. I mean, he stands out when they say when you turn on the tape, you just see, okay, who's that kid? And they say, I've heard coaches say, especially at smaller schools, and Florida High is probably what, a 3A,
2A.
2A. Okay, so when you have the tape, when you're at a smaller school. And when you have guys that the guys who like him, who just really pop off the tape and they just hit and they're violent and they fly around, those are the guys that usually translate.
That's against Tallahassee Lincoln right there.
Yeah.
So that's upper couple classes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a guy who, who he'll probably spend a year or two, working and working on his body and being ready to assume that role in a couple years down the road. So I mean, he's from the area, quality kid, probably good family, local. I mean, a lot of positives when you bring a young man like this into the program. And that's the thing, the high school guys that you got to bring in, because we're so heavy in the portal. And I saw Jimmy Mack talk about this in the chat. With the portal, with so many guys out of the portal, and Marcus, what's the percent? I'd love to know what's our percentage of portal versus high school guys. I don't even know if it's 50.
On the team or for this recruiting.
Just this recruiting class. What would you guesstimate it? I don't know if you got it figured out. Yeah,
I don't have the numbers, but I saw Gerald's report earlier where we said we signed 18, and I can think of maybe 4 or 5 high school players, a couple walk-ons, maybe 6 at the most. So we're looking at least 70% transfers.
Yeah. So when you're bringing in these high school guys, you're looking at a guy who, if he's not going to be a potential second team guy like Brecky and Harold, he's going to challenge. I mean, he may start on second, but by the sounds of Colzie, when you played at Chaminade, I mean, there won't be long before he finds his way into some playing time, especially if somebody gets hurt. And
the key, and the key is you got to have just like with the NFL, you got to have those dimensions and stuff. And so the kid from Chaminade, not only does he have the experience and the accolades playing against top-notch competition, but the kid is 6'3" and 300, so he's got the built to come in and compete.
Hey, Floyd, I love this comment by Watch JDTV. I got a good friend of mine who played at Florida High in the 90s. Who said Florida High got serious about sports. It ain't the 90s anymore. No, it ain't. It ain't. They're trying to keep up with the rest of the Joneses in the city of Tallahassee. All right, so that's again some of the names. Did I miss somebody? Who did I miss?
We got 2 special teamers, and we got a surprise quarterback. Our surprise number 1.
Oh, well, yeah. We'll go to the offensive side. There's the special teams. Of course, I don't have any film on the special teams guys.
Yeah, I don't have any kicking film.
Yeah, so we don't have any, but we'll mention them. Special teams, Max Larson, the kicker, transfer from Florida State, and Andrew Tisher, a punter from Stetson. But what I can say is interesting. I'll go over to my slide that talks about the returners on special
Everybody
teams.
back.
Yeah. Look at this. Everybody's
Yeah.
back. I mean, Coach was talking about how comfortable you have to have or feel about your special teams returners. I mean, you got your kicker, Cameron Gillis. Michael Smith, I believe, was the long range kicker.
Yeah,
Long
he's
range
on
and a
there.
kickoff specialist.
And he was on there freshman.
Right. Trey Wilhoit, of course, your punter.
So you'll lose Gillis and Wilhoit after this year.
Mhm.
So that's why I think he's recruiting now, not just for depth, but so we can transition after we lose our kicker and punter after this season.
And one thing that Coach was really excited about, I've never seen a coach excited about long snappers. We got both long snappers back, which look, we talk about. Remember a couple years ago we were talking about details and special teams. I remember Kofi was talking about that.
Yeah,
and was very adamant about how that cost us. Might have cost us that Southeastern Louisiana game, and he talked about the importance of special teams. And so when I hear Coach Colzie talk about he was excited that he has two long snappers back, and it was like I don't have to worry about that. It's like I know I got.
Hey, and if you watch the Lincoln, California game, they got some moves too.
Well, look, exactly. I mean that's a good group. Coach, who's our special teams coach?
Doc Gamble.
Doc Gamble.
Which Colzie. I don't know if Gamble. I don't know what Gamble's was Gamble's background offense or defense when he was at UAB.
It was his offense. He was a quarterback in college, and he's coached wide receivers, running back, and some quarterback. So he can coach quarterbacks.
Well, I won't be I won't be shocked if Gamble. I'm not saying he's going to be the OC. I won't be surprised to learn that he interviewed to be the OC, given his background. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see who Coach brings in as the OC. I won't be surprised if it's somebody internal. Like, I don't know how much Henry has called plays. Obviously, he hasn't called much plays.
Well, he knows the offense. He's helped. He's the architect of the offense. I would be shocked if he's not he doesn't remember he's already the OC in title. I'd be shocked if he's not calling
the architect. Plays. When you say the architect of the offense, I mean, come on, Willie Simmons was the architect.
I mean, because Willie had other duties. You got to remember now, Henry's been with Willie before FAMU and at FAMU. So Coach Simmons will tell you himself in terms of knowing the offense. And remember, I told you last year how the plays are scripted. The first 20 plays, I think it was, are pretty scripted. Then Coach gets into a field type deal. But so he has been a part of help architecturing that offense. The question is how comfortable Coach is with him. Coach Colzie is, and from what I've seen with my own eyes, it seems they're pretty comfortable. And I would tell you, Coach Henry is a really bright guy. I've had the chance to work with, talk to him a lot. He's a really bright guy, bright mind. I think he would be fine.
Okay.
But I'm interested to see who they bring in, if they bring in a separate QB coach, if they don't go with Doc Gamble, to see how that plays out.
He said he is interested in having a quarterback coach,
Okay. And it makes sense.
Yeah. Look, Henry. Yeah. Joe Henry is the offensive coordinator / offensive line coach by title, but
he never had primary play calling duties.
Right.
All right. It wasn't nothing taken away from him.
All right.
He never had it.
Exactly. He never had it. Okay. Enough of you guys in the chat. You guys, okay. Well, I'm done trying to advocate for Gamble as OC. You guys are like, oh no.
Yeah. No, I'm interested to see who
There's
they
enough
bring
of you
in for
guys out there.
linebacker coach. I
Huh?
want to see who they bring as linebacker coach and see if that has enough influence to pull Chaney back in.
I mean, but all his up, but wasn't Patterson Patterson was the linebacker coach, wasn't he?
Lineman.
No, he was a defensive lineman coach.
Who was the linebacker coach? He
Smitty.
didn't go anywhere.
Smitty Rock.
Oh, Smitty. Okay, Smitty did that too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. Let's do this. We need to take a break. Coming back on the other side, we're going to talk about the offensive side of the ball. We're going to talk about the returners. We're going to talk about the incomers and a surprise signing at the quarterback spot that we've been talking about. It was out there. It even slipped by Marcus. I hate to say it, but not too many things get by Marcus, but it even got by him. It got by a lot of people. So I'm not just saying that to say that, but a lot of people slept on it. And so we'll talk about how busy and how loaded the quarterback room is. It's going to be for year one for Coach Colzie. So you guys hang tight in there. Take a short break. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
All right. Welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, Marcus Green. Good to be back here with you. Let me spotlight a few Rattler performances over the past weekend before we get into talking about that offensive side of the ball. Let me start with this young lady first off. Miss Rebecca Gaines, named SWAC Tennis Co-Player of the Week. Second week in a row and the season's only 2 weeks old. So we've already got another of our championship tennis players.
Do you have the QR code queued up too? The give, because that giving campaign is coming toward the tail end of it, and I think they were a little over halfway there when I looked today. And I want to give a shout out to both softball as well as tennis coaches. You know, even though we know each other and have worked together and so forth, I still appreciate them showing appreciation for those who contribute, no matter how much you contribute. So I want to encourage Rattler Nation to help the tennis team to get to their goal of $10,000 if we can. And then I'll be pushing track nets.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that right here in the chat link. So there everybody can see it. There it is. If you are if you're tuned in on Facebook or on YouTube. Yeah, I was just looking at the numbers here for that fundraiser. They're over, which is good. They are. Oh, we got to move on it because I think there's only like a day and a half left.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
So, okay, glad you said that. So 29 hours actually. So probably what ends midnight Thursday sometime.
A midday.
Yeah, midday somewhere in there. So you can donate and help them reach that goal of 10,000. So Rebecca was co-SWAC player of the week.
Championship program, people. We need a support
program. Yeah. I was watching that match against
Troy.
We ended up losing 4-3. And I say watching it because obviously if you guys are tuned in, look, you should all, if you're not watching, if you don't have Rattlers Plus, you should at least have the FAMU Athletics YouTube page also with turned on notifications because they did go live. Now, the signal was kind of spotty at times. I will in my personal review. So I don't whatever amount of bandwidth they were pushing.
Remember the fundraisers try to get better equipment so they can, do that.
Yeah. So that's what part of it is for. So it's real important that we improve that. But Rebecca, she had an outstanding performance. We ended up losing 4-3 to Troy, but she won her doubles match with her teammate Reagan Harris. And then in her singles match, after losing the first set 6-7, she won the second set 7-5, which then forced a point tiebreaker, which they don't go by sets, they just go by points. And I think it's first one to 10 points wins. And she ended up dominating the tiebreaker set 10-3. So she accounted for 2 of the 3 set wins. If I might say, I feel like I might be not saying that right, but I think I am. So she accounted for 2 of the 3, 1 in doubles, 1 in singles. And I don't quite know who won the well, hold on, I got it here. Just quick link here. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. The doubles matches from Veronica Rodriguez and Sierra Sandy. They won the other doubles. So unfortunately, Sarah, she lost her singles match. She did push it to a third set. After losing the first set, she ended up winning the second, then lost the tiebreak third. The young lady, a freshman, Larissa Silva, she ended up losing her set, and Genesis Whitlock lost her set as well. So, but anyway, it was a good run, good match.
We talked about Kofi before he passed. Then I believe you, Bryan, talked about being competitive, trying to be a little bit more competitive out of conference, and we have that now. We won an out of conference game against a group of 5, and we lost in a tiebreaker basically to a program. So we're getting better.
We are getting better. Had a tough go of it against Georgia Southern on the road up at Statesboro.
Undefeated.
That didn't go
both teams lost to, I think, are undefeated. And if you look at the names, I know it. Who was it? South Alabama.
South Alabama.
When you looked at who they playing an international squad.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little bit different. Bit different when you start going that level. They are at home. That's why we talked about a big weekend. Not only is the softball season doubleheader on Friday the 9th, tennis is at home Friday the 9th at 11 a.m. at the Althea Gibson Tennis Complex against UAB. And then on Saturday, they're home against Georgia State. So if you're going to Tallahassee, if you're in Tallahassee, great opportunity to check out not only the softball team in town at home for the first two on Friday, and then I think they go over to Florida State for the other ones. But then our tennis program has got a pair of matches at home. So a great chance to support. And if you can't, hopefully, I know I've talked to Mr. Padilla about whether that softball game, if it can't get streamed, maybe we can get some play-by-play coverage of it. That'd be nice. So hopefully something like that could happen this weekend. Real quick, track and field's got a couple of top performances as well. Want to make sure we shout them out.
Way to go, Roger.
We had a distant
of
cousin,
course,
right? A distant cousin, Joseph DeRozier, co-track athlete of the week, and on the men's side in the indoors, and then also I want to say her name, is it Kimion McLeod? She is the co-track athlete of the week for the women. DeRozier dominated the 60-meter hurdles. He's a freshman. He finished first in both the prelim and the final race for the second time this season. He ran a 7.99 in the prelims and a 7.87 in the finals to stand on the podium. It's the second SWAC award for DeRozier, so it's a great start for that young man as a freshman. And then Ms. McLeod, she finished fourth in the 60-meter hurdles with a time of 8.35. Her time was the fastest in the SWAC so far, and she ranks inside of the top 60 in the NCAA Division I indoor qualifying list. So,
Coach Ellenwood, man, I'm telling, man, he's elevated this track program immediately. You got to remember, he just came aboard January of last year, and he killing it, man. Shout out to Coach Ellenwood.
Yeah,
and
we also had a couple of, and I hope I got their times right. I saw this was on Twitter as well. So Ms. McLeod, she set a school record. And I got to make sure I pull this up right because I don't think it came through on the program there. She set a school record in the 60-meter hurdles there. And then also in that same meet, Lacey DeBoski set a school record in the 800 meters.
And I want to preference that. I want to make sure we check that because I did get some information that may or may not be correct with that 800 meters.
Some old heads were like, wait a minute. I remember so and so ran I'm like, we don't
they kept receipts.
We don't
They sent me the meet in the Times. Let me put it that way.
Wow. Well, hell, send it to the SID. Why they
I
send it to you?
am. I'm gonna send it to
Lacey ran a 2:11.17. So 2 minutes 11 seconds 0.17. Well, right now it's considered a school record. Maybe it's, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's this millennium. We'll call it a school record this millennium, possibly. And then, of course, the 8.35 in the 60-meter hurdles is not only the fastest time of the year in the SWAC, but it's also the fastest time. Well, it's a new school record. So shout out to those ladies.
yes. Awesome.
Yeah, I want to give them their props. So good to see that that the program, and I don't know who, when those kind of, look, I don't know. I mean, shout out to the Coach G or whoever keeps track of that kind of stuff, because that kind of stuff can get missed, especially, I'm sure, as you just pointed out, there's probably records and stats that are in a book or in writing that are before Alvin Hollins. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Alvin Hollins, he did all kinds of great stuff with keeping track of stats and numbers, but I'm sure there's some stuff out there that maybe I'm not saying he did, because I don't want Alvin to call me up and say I never missed anything. But anyway, who knows? It might be something that's in a journal or in a book somewhere that's tucked away deep in a file cabinet. I don't know if you got, Kelvin, you said people calling you with receipts and photos and stuff. So
Dang.
I'm like, share that to Coach G.
Documents.
Yeah, please make a copy and send it to the program.
Well, it would go to the SID. The coaches ain't responsible for that.
I know. And again, just a quick reminder, this weekend there's the softball schedule. This weekend, the ladies take the field in 2 days. Doubleheader against Texas Tech on Friday. Then they travel over to Florida State for 2 against Florida State and 1 against Charlotte. So be real excited to see how this team and
tough competition.
You got to follow. This is a fun follow. Those of you who are on Instagram, make sure you follow not only the softball site, but I think it's at FAMU softball _fans. I think that's the handle on Instagram. That it's sort of the official, unofficial team Instagram handle, if I'm saying that right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I give that a proper shout out. Well, I don't know. Maybe they've changed it now. I think they've changed the handle. I don't know. I didn't know you could do that in FAMU softball _fans. That's what it is. FAMU softball _fans. That's the handle on IG. I don't know, but I think so shout out to softball. 2 days away from starting up. Got to get our friend Nia Morgan. Got to get her on the show next week. So maybe we could talk. I was going to try to work that out for this weekend, but I knew we had such a heavy clip of things with recruiting. I was like, yeah, maybe not. All right. Offense. Let's talk about the offense side of the ball and what we have returning. There's the offensive returners.
Look at the offensive line. Woo, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Control the line of scrimmage.
That was we had I don't know what's the depth look like, because I thought last year, I know we were very deep last year, and that helped us through the injury bug that hit our first unit. I mean, we went deep into it.
I haven't seen any linemen get in the portal. I mean, I haven't seen anybody declare they're in the portal. And I think last spring, Coach was saying we were like 18 deep or something like that. It was a high teens number.
17, 18, yeah.
And Kelvin want to say Colvin and maybe one other player. I'd have to go and look.
The one from South Florida who got hurt against North Carolina.
Oh yes. I don't know.
think that
I don't know if he rotated out because I thought he was a sophomore when he came to us. Maybe a redshirt sophomore, but we can check that.
Yeah. I think if he does, he got to file some kind of appeal.
Okay. So we had 3 grad students last year, coming into 2023. 3 grads, 1 redshirt senior. So 4 people off the line. And I didn't hear him mention 4 this year, but, it may be someone like, Colvin is a redshirt senior because I think he came in 2019 and 2018. Maybe Kendarius Cunningham if he was still on the team.
He got hurt, remember?
Okay.
He'll be back.
No, I know Mike Marshall got hurt too. He got hurt like the first or second game. Yes.
That might be who I was thinking of now that I'm thinking about it.
So he's definitely eligible for a redshirt season because I think a medical redshirt.
Well, Marshall was only a redshirt sophomore, if I'm not mistaken anyway.
Yeah, I think he came in 2021.
Yeah.
So we don't lose a whole lot, but I did hear Coach say during the show that Josh hosted, I didn't listen to the press conference before for the journalists, that he was still looking for some offensive line depth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we still have some offers that are still pending out there to some transfers and some high school students. So, we're not done. But yeah, that looks good to have 4 out of 5 people coming back from a championship team if everybody can stay healthy.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll talk about the recruits for the offensive line. So far, there's just been 2 signings on the offensive line in terms of recruits. Now, also, you talked about the running game, the running backs. We knew we got Kelvin Dean, there you see pictured there, the MVP of the Celebration Bowl. Offensive MVP of the Celebration Bowl, along with Jaquez Yent. Sadly, we lost. Well, we can't say we've lost him, but Leland Wilhoit, friend of the program, has entered the transfer portal. He's a graduate now.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he's a graduate, so he's
very proud of that.
Yeah. And I remember, I'll never forget the last home game I was at. He came up to me and was like, "Mr. Bryan, I found out I got another year eligibility." Man, he was happy. So I was really hoping we would have him, but I'm just happy. I mean, he's got a great spirit, man, and I love that kid. And I hope if wherever I'm hoping, God puts him somewhere where he can really shine and really show what he can do. It's so hard. It's so, these are the goods and bads of having depth, and and just getting an opportunity is hard, and so it's just one of those things, man. And so I hope Leland gets that opportunity. I mean, look, there's some young guys also coming up that we signed last year. So there's a lot of running the tote gang. I mean, there's a lot of dudes. There's a lot of dudes, and we'll talk about especially one that we signed that
game changer. I'm just telling you. Hey,
a lot of people excited.
I'm not going to oversell. I'm not going to undersell that one.
Okay.
That one right there is a difference maker.
All right. I got some video for it. So when we get there, I'll show the video. Wide receivers, Jamari Gassett and Kareem Burke. 2 of we knew what we were losing. We were losing a lot of wide receivers that had really put in some time over the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And so
we had about 10. According to our preseason, we had about 10 between grad students and seniors. So we knew that was going to be an area. And not everybody played. I know we didn't play 10 wide receivers, but you think about the
guys who transferred,
the productivity
transferred out that we thought, it was like, dude, why would you leave now? Because you got a chance. But I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, but we losing the productivity. You look at Marcus Riley, you look at K-Dot, you look at Manigo, you look at Nick Dixon. You look at Chris Sanders, who's a contributor. So that's 5 people right off the rip.
Yeah,
So
but we
we
signed
got
about
some
5
depth.
of them that set out, right? The kid from
Yes, we
Utah.
got some depth.
Yeah. We added some more. We got some guys.
Mhm.
Don't get it twisted, but you're right. They haven't been in the battle as much. They're untested, but talent wise, they're right there with the guys they'll be replacing. So
Mhm.
we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, we talked about that preseason when we talked about Coach Simmons was looking a year ahead from the wide receiver standpoint with some of the transfers that he brought in, like Chris Reed and I forgot the other gentleman's Quay. He's number 21. So there's like at least 2 or 3 wide receivers that they brought in as transfers last year, FBS transfers at that, to
Right.
come in, get acclimated or get a year under their belt, and hopefully contribute so there won't be as much or if any drop off when we had all these wide receivers that were on the top end, heavy in terms of their classification. Yeah, Quan Lee. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Quan Lee. Yeah.
From UCF.
A couple of questions. Tony asking who takes Shareed's spot, Burke or Gassett? I would think Gassett would take that spot, especially as Gassett is a returner. He's a punt returner. I don't.
Burke got that it factor though. I don't know.
Burke.
And if we're going for like a pure, that's another thing I noticed, and I don't know how much is going to change with Coach Simmons on to Duke, but it seemed like he was getting some players that were physically similar to others, because we recruited Robert Lockhart out of Atlanta last year.
Yep.
He's about same size as K-Dot and a burner.
Yeah.
So
that's what
he kind of matches up physically from that spot. If we're looking to, plug and play in terms of similar skill set, attributes, and things of that nature, we have someone that can plug in there. We have someone that we thought Gassett was going to be maybe a plug-in from a physical stature standpoint for X-Man. And then you look at some of the other folks who are kind of like 6 foot, 5'11", 6'2", can kind of fit in that intermediate range. And one of our signees might fit the Manigo type role. We get to that when we get to the recruits.
The tight ends. I'm right there with you, Kenya. Kenya's like, I'm excited about our. Hey, I'm telling you, boy, I love.
Hey, you add the running backs, the tight ends, and the offensive line returning with what we bringing in.
Good luck tackling,
man. I don't know how much I want to throw the ball.
It'll be interesting to see the philosophy going forward.
We're big.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's all what goes into figuring out and seeing what this new OC. I mean, not only do we, you're going to have a new quarterback, but just the philosophy of the new OC. And let's just, if it does become Coach Henry, does Coach Henry utilize the tight ends more than previously Coach Simmons did? I think Coach Simmons kind of learned and as he recruited these guys, and these guys, I think he learned how to use and work those tight ends more onto the play sheet. But I mean, that's a big advantage. I mean, Pruitt's a big guy. Goss is or Kobe Gross is a big guy.
The new guy is a big guy.
Oh, my goodness. New recruit we'll talk about here in a second. He's humongous. So, I mean, these are big dudes at that tight end spot. That's a matchup nightmare. I mean, it's going to be matchup nightmares for opposing linebackers to have to deal with guys that size who can move the way they move.
And by the way, I know Junior name is on here, but all our quarterbacks outside of our starter, outside of Moose, are back.
Right. Ja'Cory Jordan is back. DJ Boney is back.
Fisher and
Fisher. I think what was that? That was it. That was because
there's a transfer from Georgia State. Is it Noah Ross or something like that? Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, forgot about him. Yeah.
And we signed a record. I guess he's an athlete, but they listed him as quarterback. Kyle Fitzgerald out of Ohio, St. Xavier out of Ohio.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, we could do a show. We could do an hour show just talking about the quarterback role. I think that just keep that in the back pocket there. We this spring, here in about another month or two, we may do a show just talking about the quarterbacks. We may have to get some quotes and we may have to get up the tally and do some interviews because I think that would be an interesting special just to kind of talk about the quarterbacks. Maybe we'll have to go dig around and find their former high school coaches and find out what's the separating factor between 1, 2, and 3. I'm just fascinated at how that in general. I mean, you got 5, 6 guys competing for one spot. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you can, unlike any other position on the field, where you could have multiple talented guys and find a way to get them on the field. You got 3, 4 wide receivers. You can run a 3, 4 receiver set. You got multiple running backs. You can put a couple of those backs out on the same field. Put one in the slot. When you got multiple talented quarterbacks, you can't do nothing but just one. There's one guy. That's why that position is so valuable. Sweet ask, are we running the same system? Sweet, honestly, we don't know. We don't know. We don't even know who the OC is yet. Coach said that he's going to look to try to have all his hires complete. I think he said March 5th. So I'm assuming that's before spring practice starts. So what that's a couple of weeks. That's a month. That's 3 weeks. These last 3 weeks of the month before spring practices start. It sounds like he's trying to have everything done. All right, let me see. Yeah, EA right there with you. He yelled 4 years tight end. Hey, you yell loud enough, they listen. Somebody listen.
And Kamari came through this year.
Hey, boy, catch of the year.
He's gonna be missed.
Catch of the year. Might have been play of the year.
Underutilized.
Yeah. I would challenge. There's a great poll question. Play of the year. That catch by Kamari or the opening kickoff return for a touchdown? What was your play?
I thought we did that. Did we
do that? Did we do that?
Yeah, I think we did our superlatives for the year. We asked about play of the year.
All right. Well, I'm just asking again. Just thinking about it. Okay. Let's get into. Let's see if we've got. All right, here we go. The new Rattlers. There we go. We found out. We knew about Daniel Richardson, transfer from FAU. Got a chance to listen to him talk with Josh. I didn't know he had thrown, I don't know what the career numbers on him are, like 6,000 some odd passing yards.
7,000 and something.
Yeah.
What is
he played at Central Michigan for like 2 or 3 years and transferred to FAU.
Yeah, he threw over 5. Yeah, he threw for over 5,000 yards at Central Michigan, and then at FAU last year he threw for like 2,300.
And he's out of South Florida too.
Yeah. Where's his background? I was just looking something up here.
I think he's from Carroll City because he played with Amari Johnson in high school. And apparently our coach Colzie mentioned today that he did a good job recruiting because he was putting a bug in the ear of Amari Johnson to transfer and Acion Cobb, whom he played with at FAU. But I think he played for Carroll City, either just before, right when they were like starting to dominate, when they were contending for state titles and they were hanging with Central and Northwestern and Booker T. So it's like the late 2010s. I think it
So
came out 2019, somewhere in there.
you said something about 7,000 yards. Where did you get that number? I heard 6,000 all day. Where'd you get 7,000 from?
Yeah, I know he threw for close to like 5,000 at Central, and then 2,300 or something like that at FAU. I'm going off memory though.
Okay. I'm gonna just say that 6,000 mark is there, right? I just kind of did a deep. I'm curious. Like I went passing yards, career leaders in college NCAA history. So getting to 9,000 career yards, which if Richardson were to become the starter, play a 12-game season, likely probably surpassing a 3,000 yard season, would put him at 9,000 career. That would put him in the top 250, which, the site that I'm looking at, sportsreference.com, he stops at 250. So it's almost like the line is like 9,000. Like when you hit the 9,000 yard career mark. Now for a lot of these guys, these are numbers that they did in 3-4 seasons. Now already Richardson has played 2 full seasons at FAU, 2 full seasons at Central Michigan. Am I right on that? Did he finish a year, 2 full years?
One at Atlantic, 2 at Central Michigan, and 1 at Florida Atlantic.
Okay.
And I think got a red shirt.
And a red shirt. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, I knew it was some kind of numbers like that. Okay. So yeah, there's that. And then and then you can see the other name that came through in the portal that really kind of caught everybody's eye. And I don't think I don't know if I can pull up multiple things here, Marcus. So I'm gonna bear with me. Was the Austin Hooker signing? Go ahead and talk a little bit about that for a second, Marcus, while I pull up see if I can pull up the clip. And I got some film. So,
well, that one snuck by me. Apparently on Instagram, I have to shout out some folks on another private chat that found it. I guess 2 weeks ago, he verbally committed to FAM on Instagram. But yeah, did not see that coming. I didn't even know he's in the portal. And he's committed to FAM and signed on the dotted line today. He's the son of Alan Hooker, who is a quarterback for A&T. I want to say
legend,
late 80s.
Late 80s. MEAC Offensive Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. Part of the MEAC 50 at A&T.
And brother of Herndon Hooker, who I don't know where he started. I think he started at Virginia Tech and then transferred to Tennessee. Was it last year or was that 2 years ago when Tennessee was like ranked in the top 10? And then he hurt his knee. Yeah, 2 years ago, and and they beat Alabama on a last second field goal. And then I think the next week, I forgot against who, he hurt his knee, but that was Josh Heupel's first year as the head coach at University of Tennessee after he left UCF, maybe second year after he left UCF, and Herndon Hooker was balling. So a lot of folks were hyped about his potential based on the dad and the brother. And I think A&T put up some footage. The footage I have there is from high school because I think A&T, he only got playing time in the last quarter of the last game this year. And he's a class of 2020 graduate of Ragsdale High School. And so he didn't get a lot of playing time at A&T despite being his dad's alma mater, but I guess he was 11 out of 15. And I know there was a couple A&T posters who were like, he's gonna be real competitive for that QB spot. At least a couple that were on social media.
This is the video of that last game where you mentioned he was 11 of 15, 150 something yards, and threw a touchdown. Now, this was the last game of the season, I believe. against Campbell, and he didn't get in until fourth quarter. They're down by 21. And I think what caught my eye is Blue Death Valley, who is the
friend of the program.
Friend of the program. Yeah, number one. I want to give him his props. Here, let me find it.
Well, the two Aggies win the Super Day, but also that's Samaj for anybody, the old MEAC fans. That's Born Thriller.
Born Thriller.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. He pointed out that. Oh, where was it at? Let me find the tweet. I'm going to bounce around here between these different sites here. Where's it at? While we watch this video here. Yeah, I think what he said was when he sent this out, he said, this is every pass attempt by Austin Hooker in the 23 season. He said, if you extrapolate this over 11 full games, he'd probably be a front runner for the Walter Payton Award. Now,
you have to take that tongue in cheek.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
That's Born Thriller.
Yeah, you didn't even have to read that, to be honest.
Well, I just hey, come on, look, I wanted to hype it up. I wanted to give it its proper. I wanted to give it its proper due because it was an amazing tweet. It caught my attention. Hell, I was like, what? And I'm like, that's a hell of an extrapolation, man. But yeah, a couple of my other guys, Jamie Walker, sent me a text and said, he needed an opportunity. He needed an opportunity. So if it's always interesting though, he's 6'1". Here's a guy who he look, I mean, when we talk about this room being loaded, you get, and Coach Colzie talked about the experience of a guy like Richardson, who obviously has commanded, he's done what no other quarterback in the room has done. Now, granted, he's done it in other places. Matter of fact, 2 places. So it's like, I'm not going to say that he walks in as the front runner, but you definitely walk in with more experience than anybody else in that room.
He done played a lot of football at the FBS level.
Yes.
Winning football.
Pretty successful too.
And productive,
Yeah, and productive.
And the other thing, you look at it, he was an unranked recruit coming out of high school. And I don't know what Richardson's style of play is. I've seen a little bit of film on him, but this is he was classified as a dual threat QB. So it'll be interesting to see if we start to transition to a different type of quarterback as we under the Colzie era. Because even though Coach Simmons made his bones at Prairie View, even at Alcorn with dual threat QBs, for the most part, since he's been here at FAM, we've been dealing with dropbacks or more typical dropbacks are pro style, but between Stanley, Rashawn McKay, and Musa. I mean, they can get you some yards if needed, but it's not like they're not like a Davius Richard.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how this year the quarterbacks that have signed on and going forward, the type of style of quarterback that's going to be the desired type for Coach Colzie and the offense.
And look,
right.
I don't
We showed too much of this film. Thank you.
Well, look, okay. Look, I get it. Nobody, look, I'm. Look, we showed the Richardson film back in December, I believe. So I mean, and we look. This is the position that guys this is what we're going to be talking about. As much as we're going to be talking about this more than any position, way more. Look, I know we talked about the QB position going into last year, but we did have, we knew what we had. This year is going to be interesting because we got to figure out who the OC is, And if the OC is somebody internal, if it is a Joe Henry, is that an advantage for the incumbents? The fact that we have a quarterback in Richardson who has a relationship with a couple of the incoming wide receivers, I don't think you can dismiss those kind of things. Again, I've been a big Junior Muratovic fan as the solid number 2. Let's just say
don't let me screenshot Kelvin.
all I'm gonna say is that was then. I am an open book for watching this competition play out because the one opportunity Junior had did not look great. In my opinion, it should have been better. Could have been better. So I'm open. I'm open to whomever is the best man to win the job. You're not gonna hear me advocating for Junior Muratovic. Not after the Lincoln game. I think it's wide open, and so
iron sharpens iron.
The question is, how do you look? Okay, this is what here. Honest question here. How do you give guys like Jordan and Boney? How do they get an opportunity? What does that look like in practice? I mean, is it
reps? Everybody got to get reps with, and it's got to be similar reps, right? Everybody get reps with the first team receivers, first team line, with similar play calls, and then just the things they do off the field, the intangibles. I like one of the things I heard about Junior was, that he came early, stayed late in terms of film and so forth. I know some folks really, how you picking up the playbook and that type of thing. It's not one thing. It's a series of things. But at the end of the day, do you move the team? Does the team rally around you? Do you not turn the ball over as a quarterback? Are you a good leader? All those things are part of the whole goulash. Now football is going into a different way. The mobile quarterback is where it's at. Probably 4 out of the top 5 quarterbacks who go in the first round this year are dual threats. You saw what Houston looked like with a rookie dual threat last NFL season. So it's gonna be real interesting to see if they embrace that, because we got some guys who are legitimate dual threats.
Yeah, I just, you talk about equal reps and things of that nature. I mean, when you have 5 guys, well,
it's the spring. That's what the spring is for.
4. I mean, so which, but again, but it's not with what you're saying though. While it's the same for one player, that's 3-4 times the work for every other player. You know what I'm saying? That's why. So that's you saying if you want everything to be equal, it means that. So if I run 4 plays for
some days a specific time, so they rotate from running with the 1s, 2s, and 3s. Everybody runs with the 1, 2s, and 3.
Okay.
It ain't complicated.
And you're saying that didn't happen before?
I'm not saying. I'm saying that sometimes folks take a liking for whatever reasons to certain things, and it may or may not, but at the end of the day, this should be wide open because we don't have a returning incumbent that's clear cut above everybody. So this particular situation is different.
Okay. The running back position. Now, before we get to talking about Rodney Hill, I think what's interesting is Jalen Neal. Jalen Neal, who he signed early, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think did I show the film on Neal back in December?
Don't
Did
remember.
did we see the Neal? Let me make sure I've got it. I don't even
I
know
don't
if I
know because I know he got hurt, didn't he? He got hurt his senior year, I thought. So he didn't have a whole bunch of film. Most of his film was from his junior year.
So this would be film. I'm showing you film now from his. This would be his junior year. Well, originally
That's on defense.
we right. Well, he did both. He did both.
Mm-hmm. He was an athlete.
Yeah, he did both. So that's Neal. That's Neal with the ball right there, showing his speed. But then you're going to see him not only in the defensive back role, but apparently he's going to come in and play more running back, which is interesting. Always interesting.
Another powerhouse program, by the way, too.
Yeah, Buford.
Up at Buford.
Yeah,
That's in Georgia, correct?
yeah, another national ranked program.
Yeah, they play at the
Now here's
either
him
top
at running
level or
back.
second top level in the state of Georgia. So either I can't remember if they're 6A and then moved up to 7A this year, where they're typically
That you don't normally see DBs playing running back as well. Usually you see DBs playing like a wide receiver position. I think that speaks highly for this kid's physicality. The fact that, not only is he a DB, but he's also a running back. Not a wide receiver, but he's a running back, where running backs take a lot of hits and they deliver some hits as well. But it's just interesting kind of watching him there as a running back as well. Buford got that nice track, boy. They got some money
man.
up there.
Oh,
They got
some
some
money.
They got some money. They facilities, their facilities. Yeah, their facilities in school is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some of those schools, and I'm from from Decatur, so I don't know all these suburbs they have now, but like between Buford, Grayson, and some of those schools in Gwinnett County, I mean they have a system pumping money. I wouldn't say it's Texas level, but probably for our side of the country, it is probably very Texas like.
I would love to have we got to work on getting some interviews with some of these guys too, Marcus, but I would love to be able to hear Jalen talk about going from being a wide receiver, a DB to a running back. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to hear, because that's a heck of a transition.
Not really. Emil Rasu did it when he was when he came to FAM, and he played both ways at FAMU High, and he probably should have been in my opinion, a running back from the jump, but they had him at DB his first 2 years. And again, the difference is those guys who play defense, who are running backs, they run with a certain amount of violence. Those guys run hard, man. You don't want to get in front of those guys, man. They run you over.
Now I'm interested to see Jalen Neal at running back as coach. I thought he was recruited as a DB or as an athlete. I saw even when he signed as an athlete, but I thought he was more slated towards DB. But somebody we signed last year.
Yes,
gosh.
my man from down in Southwest Florida. Yes,
Bo Somerset.
Bo was running back,
Somerset.
but also
Somerset.
Bo Somerset, but also Oral Gray out of Jacksonville.
but I think
University
Oral
Christian, they converted him to DB. But he was playing running back.
DB.
He made all state as running back because they had
ran
him.
for 2,000 yards. Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised that he got converted, and then I don't know. It gives us the versatility, but I don't want to detract too far from our offensive signings. But I'll be interested to see how athletic, his athleticism will allow him to play. And he'll be behind. I mean, both positions, he's going to be behind veteran people, but whether he goes DB or running back. So he's got time to learn, grow, and shift.
Yes.
And Hollow, if you're talking about Jalen, the running back is what they got him listed as. They got him listed as coming in as playing a running back. So
Which probably
We'll see.
says that's which probably says they probably asked him where he would like to try out first and what the
Yeah.
opportunity is. And he probably told him, let's go offense first.
Interesting. All right. Rodney Hill.
I
5'10",
feel
190.
hey, remember we got 5 offensive linemen and 2 tight ends coming back. This brother right here is going to be a problem.
Kelvin, I'll let you wax poetic about Mr. Hill and his playability, a 4-star. Of course, we count those things here. While I pull up the video on Rodney.
So I used to work those games and those spring games and some of their practices with the security company, and I was in charge of the field crew. So I got to watch this cat in practice and scrimmages, and then of course this year, which you shown some video of. Hey, with the opportunities he got, you saw why he was a 4-star, and you saw why he was why it was so much chatter when he left Florida State and signed with FAMU, committed to FAMU at the time. This kid would have started the Georgia game for Florida State had he not jumped in the portal and committed to FAMU. This kid can play. He runs hard with authority. Of course, he got breakaway speed, and he's young. This kid was like a redshirt freshman.
So he's class of 22.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a whole
and
lot.
He played for a team as a redshirt freshman with two senior or two experienced running backs who went 13-0. That's all you need to know. He's a ball player.
Coach Colzie talked about the process of recruiting, not just him, but his family. Talking with really selling the opportunity. I think I'm using that word selling, but Coach Colzie did mention that his mom or Hill's mom thought there was a better opportunity at FAMU than at Miami, which is where I think he was looking at going. I think Miami, when he jumped out of the portal, when the announcement of Coach Simmons leaving came out, he put his name in the portal, and it appeared like Miami is where he might have gone. So for us to be able to get him to stay home is a positive thing. And then, you're playing alongside and with Dean and Yant, 2 guys also out of the FBS level. That's.
Remember, he played with Benson, who's going to be a top first or second round draft pick this year, as well with Tola Philly, who will be a first or second round, probably second or third round draft pick next year. So he played with top talent as a young running back, and the things you saw in his limited opportunities this year, he did all the time in practice in the spring games when those guys weren't, getting as many reps. When he got reps, he used to break runs all the time against them. So kid can play. He's a ball player.
I think I love the analogy that Coach Colzie said that bringing Hill in will make Yant and Dean better runners, almost in the same fashion that they might have made Terrell Jennings a better runner last year. I mean, we saw stuff from Jennings last year that I don't think we all expected. I mean, if Jennings would have just done his previous season's average, he would have still made top 20 career list. But Jennings ended up leading the team in rushing. So
he put in the work.
he
Got
did.
in. He came in better shape. He worked on his speed and did speed drills and so forth. And man, when you saw Terrell Jennings with his pads off, I mean he's a grown man, man. He's pretty chiseled, solid guy. And I'm telling you, man, him and Kamari Young, the tight end, those guys I firmly believe have opportunities at the next level somewhere. If it's not the NFL, the SFL, Canadian League, those guys got the physical traits and characteristics. They got good production, and they good people that put in the work. If they get opportunity, they'll do something with it.
And you can noticeably see the difference in Terrell Jennings from the first game. And I don't think that's when we were doing the simulcast. I don't know if we did the simulcast, but I know y'all did the pregame. But you can see the difference in his body shape just from seeing it on the TV screen that he had lost weight, he got a little faster, and you could see that, and his stamina improved. And he said, I think someone asked him coming out of the SWAC championship game, asked him about that. He said after practice during the summer or after working out, he would go run the steps and brag because he wanted to get in a high level of fitness and wanted to be able to have the stamina for the whole season.
All right. Let's move over to the wide receivers now. A pair of wide receivers are coming in. Two of them who have former playing experience, and I find that really interesting. Yeah, they have with Richardson. You've got Ace Cobb or Acion Cobb. Is Cobb the one who played with him at FAU?
Yes.
Okay. Cobb played with him at FAU. And then Amari Johnson, who is coming from UCF, played with Richardson in high school.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marcus, talk about those two wide receivers while I pull up the and any other, because I've got film. I think I've got film on Cobb, and I've got film. I don't know if I have film on Johnson, but I might. So I'll let you go ahead and talk about those wide receivers.
Well, Cobb is a class of 22, so he's still got some years left on him. I'm trying to remember if he's the same as Quan Lee, if they came out the same class, but they're from roughly the same area. They're from the Orlando area. So he played at Jones High School and then went to FAU for a year. And, he's 6'2", close to 200, so he's a big body. And it just more chess pieces we can move around where you can mix and match size, speed, height, and skill. To be able, like that deep threat or someone who can go over the middle because he's got a big body. So I expect, between him, there's going to be a lot of competition at wide receiver with all the transfers we're bringing in. So we haven't really recruited that many high school wide receivers. None that immediately come to mind. So we've gotten a lot of young receivers who may not have gotten playing time at their previous school. So they don't have a lot of wear and tear. They still have the talent, and now they have an opportunity.
We do have one wide receiver in this particular class.
We do. Yeah, Caden Bridgman Peterson.
Yeah.
And he's a big boy, too. He's like 6'3", 195, 200. So he's like wide receiver, tight end. And he also played basketball and ran track and played baseball. So he's like a three or four sport athlete at Niceville. So
another power program.
Yep. So we're going to have some size, speed, and we have the versatility at the wide receiver spot to be able to take it across the middle, take you deep, hit screens that hopefully won't get intercepted and take it to the house. So, speed with, Lockhart and all those guys. So we have a lot of chess pieces that they can move around in terms of the offense, which is similar to what we had this year and then building up the last couple of years. So I'm looking forward to him because he and Quan Lee are about the same size and maybe interchangeable. So you have guys that are interchangeable. So it looks good. And then the other gentleman, I think he's more on the K-Dot and Marcus Riley type frame. And he signed in December as well. So Amari Johnson, 5'10", 160, out of Carroll City High School, class of 2019. So he was 3-star coming out, and he went to UCF, and didn't seem like he got a whole lot of playing time there. So he probably got stuck behind some things, and also, of course, with the coaching change.
You're right.
Because Josh Heupel left, and then Gus Malzahn, I believe it's Gus Malzahn, is at UCF, came in. And so, probably just got caught up in the coaching change, and whether he fit the scheme or whether they just saw the writing on the wall and said, I want to get some playing time for my last year. My boys going down there. And Coach Simmons told us, I think post game after the Celebration Bowl, that I might have some surprises for you in South Florida. It was like before signing day that there's some mention of like some South Florida type deal. We weren't sure exactly what that meant, but now we realized what it was once the early signing day hit.
Yeah, this is some footage of Amari
he came
Johnson.
out. He was rated as a 3-star. Yeah, rated as a 3-star, borderline 4-star, maybe earlier on in his high school career in terms of his productivity at Carroll City, and that's probably his quarterback. That's probably Daniel Richardson there.
Are he and Richardson part of the same senior class?
I believe so. I believe they both came out together in class of 2019.
Oh, well, then if that's the case, then yeah, you probably are looking at some of Richardson.
Mm-hmm. And so he kind of fits, or at least he looks to fit, that same kind of Marcus Riley type role.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson, 5'10", 160. Yeah, I guess you'd be right. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's probably from either his huddle.
It is. Yeah.
So it may be different now in terms of the weight that he's put on since he's been in college, the muscle.
Yeah, Ivan West said that is Richardson at QB. So you're getting a look at Richardson when he was in high school, throwing to Johnson when they were in high school together.
And at the time, Carroll City, I want to say it was class 6A. Back then, I mean, they've changed the classifications a few times in Florida, but I think they were class 6A.
And they just switched it back this year from rural.
Metro and suburban and all that. Now they went back to the same.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's going to mess my spreadsheet up, but I kept the other one. I kept the other classifications just in case.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. FHSA changing up all kinds of stuff. So yeah, and looking at when you go and look at the kind of playing time that guys got,
that's when they played Rickers.
As I brag,
that's when they played Rickers.
Back when we were in the MEAC. Look at that.
That's when we had just got the turf. I was still there then.
Yeah, look, hey, I didn't see the turf look that clean in forever. I mean,
it looks pretty clean now.
Yeah. I think it got cleaned.
When it changed, it got changed out during the holiday break. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Good. It needed
the,
to get
the end zone, just the end zones and the snakehead, I believe.
Good.
Why would they do that now instead of waiting closer to the season? Just out of curiosity.
Those things have to be scheduled, and it's easier to get it scheduled now. And nothing else was going on. I suspect they probably talked to them and had it scheduled before the season started. And probably asked them, when is the best time when you can come back and replace our end zones and so forth. And they was like, well, because it's installation seasons now from now until right up until August, September.
Yes,
they're busy with installs, so they're not really doing a whole bunch of maintenance and so forth. The same staff that does the installs, a lot of them will be doing the maintenance, so it's easier to get it scheduled now. And it's cheaper when you do it in the fall and the winter too.
All right. Let me come back to this. Okay. Who else we got on this list here?
The big tight end.
Man, what a dude. That guy. Let me see if I don't know if I have any actual video of
Check, yeah, this like YouTube that I think he posted of both playing both positions, DE and tight end.
6'8", 6'8", 255.
Guess who else he played with?
Who? Let me
Richardson.
see. Looking at the background. Where did he play with?
QB8.
Oh, at Central Michigan. Look at that. Damn.
But also, and I tried to double check with Miss Musa. He would have come out like a year after Jeremy and at the same high school, Roosevelt High School in Eastville. She couldn't confirm whether they played together in high school. She couldn't confirm or, well, I don't say confirm or deny because she wasn't denying it. But I asked her the question. She said she wasn't sure. But it was the same high school as Jeremy, and he came out a year after. So he might have balled with Jeremy in high school.
Oh, look at that. Small world. Look at you, Marcus, putting that kind of stuff together. Question came up. What happened to Trevante Davis? He was one of the first wide receivers to jump in the portal. Did he even?
But
he
I haven't
out.
seen. Yeah, I hadn't seen where he him or what was the other guy? Marquez or something.
Now he did land somewhere.
He landed somewhere.
Marquez Phillips. I can't remember where. I want to say Virginia Union, but I'm not sure. Or somewhere in the Virginia area, kind of back, I think in there. But Trevante, I thought I had heard that he had taken his name out the portal. Didn't announce it, but that he may have been seen around.
Is he back at FAM?
I remember seeing something like to that effect. I haven't confirmed it, but I thought I heard the same thing. Yeah, Marching 100 paparazzi say, yeah, he back.
Oh, so Davis is back. Okay. All right.
And he can play.
He can. Yeah.
So that adds to the depth because he scored. Didn't he score our second?
He scored the first touchdown. He scored the first touchdown of the season.
Jaden is on.
Huh?
Yeah, Jaden Evans is on. Our signee. He said he played Little League with Musa.
There you go. Hey, welcome to the family, Jaden. All right. We got to schedule some time to get you
Absolutely.
in. I'm sorry I couldn't pull up any I didn't find any good film. But when we do have you on the show, we're gonna pull up some film. So we gotta put that request in, Kelvin. See if we can send it up to the Mr. SID and see if we can get Jaden on next week. Good to see that the young brother is on. All right. Hey, we appreciate you tuning in, man. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate that.
Family. We're looking forward to having you. You can you can tell us a little bit about your time playing with your QB from the Central Michigan days and just the opportunity. So we're looking forward to having you on. Good stuff. You guys in the chat room, make sure to well, actually he's hitting us up on Twitter. So yeah, I know he follows us on Twitter. So good to see.
Yeah, Green Mark. Yeah, paparazzi. Yeah. Trevante Davis scored our second touchdown. Well, yeah, I think it would have been our second.
He scored the first offensive touchdown of this year against Jackson State. And then I think I see that he scored a touchdown on UNC. Okay. All right. Marcus, I gotta make sure to get those links in his Twitter handle. Yeah. I think in doing my prep for the show, I think I may have ran out of time. That's probably also, I'm being honest here. That's probably why I ran out of time I looked up and said, oh damn, I got to get out of here. All right. So I noticed, okay. So in terms of the offensive linemen, we had already mentioned back in the spring, Jeremy Fishkin from Stoneman Douglas
High School.
And High School. And also another high schooler from Crisp County out of Cordell, Georgia, Raphael Williams Jr.
Big kid.
Yeah. I think, Marcus, we got a photo of him too in here.
And I'm going to try to look it up real quick because I keep my little list.
Yeah, there's Raphael right there. Voted to the 2023 Georgia High School Football Daily Class 3A Region 1 All-Region Football Team, first team offense. So we're just getting another dude. Nice size, too. 6'5", 254.
Long and
that might
lanky.
that might be underweight too. I mean, because
I
kind of take it with a
definitely
grain
think
of
he
salt.
is. Yeah, but by the time he'll get some weight on him, when it matters.
He gonna either be a tight end or a probably second year, third year tackle.
Yeah. Let me flash through. Caden Bridgman, Peterson, the tight end now. A lot of people from Niceville. I'm guessing by the 195 that Caden is in the middle, back middle.
That's what I'm assuming. He's the only one, not wearing school paraphernalia.
Right. Well, okay. Yeah, that's a good tip off too. I didn't even see that the school paraphernalia. I'm just thinking 195. That looks like 6'4", 195, and he played basketball. He's built more like a basketball player versus the young man to his left. So I'm just guessing. There's no real. Obviously, we went through the
and also
Brecky
Jeremy
Harold. I'm sorry.
Jeremy Fishkin made second team All Broward from the Miami Herald. I did not put that on there, but he made second team all day. I'm sorry, All Broward Class 4M, 3M for the Miami Herald.
All right.
I'll have to check to see if he made the same team for the Sun Sentinel.
Yeah, we already saw the video from Breckian again. Coach Colzie super excited about Breckian coming in. And there's a defensive tight end, Landon Bolding. Now, he wasn't on the list from earlier in the day. So this must be fresh, Marcus.
It is. Yeah, and I think he got a preferred walk-on offer.
Okay.
And he committed today, signed today.
Okay. And I noticed that was something I heard Coach Colzie talk about, is that he did have quite a few PWOs. Guys that got opportunities through the preferred walk-on status.
I think also the young man we just saw, Raphael Williams, when he first announced on social media, he talked about a preferred walk-on offer.
All right. And there's the Derek McGee signing from earlier this evening, posted on via his social media. And of course, we already showed his video as well. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. I think that I get everybody there on that list. I did.
Yes.
I don't think I left anybody out that was a part of the names that we saw via the Democrat during the list that they posted. I do think we ought to take a second, because there's some names that have either a few names that decommitted, because I know we were talking about what happened to this person and what happened to that person. So I thought we kind of just go through some of those names here. And now this is a young man that had signed back in December. So we had him as one of our signees in December. Davion Walker, wide receiver, 6'3", 180 from out of Vanderbilt. he must have put himself back into the portal, huh?
I'm not sure that's the case or not on that one.
Yeah, me neither. Marcus, anything to add there? Have you seen anything on Davion Walker out there in the
No,
in the
I haven't.
Twitterverse?
I have
Nope.
not.
Okay. Zay Williams.
No, he recently committed to a junior college.
Okay. All right.
But that's a kind of, I mean, look at his size and you look at his pedigree coming from Colquitt County, Crisp County, Colquitt County, some of those middle South Georgia teams that are always in the mix. So you're getting players that fit our scheme, and you see his body type. You can see him being almost like a Day or a Xavier Smith with his body size and his game. But he's going JUCO for now. As far as I know, he verbally committed maybe late last week, because I was checking to see where things were going with him.
And is it fair to say? Well, look, I don't want to. Well, how do I say this? It could always be, I don't want to assume or be presumptuous about why, a young man is going JUCO. But maybe getting into FAMU was a little harder, and maybe he needed to go to JUCO route for a year.
Perhaps, or it could be just, starting out smaller, and working your way depending on where he is in life. And I mean, we don't want to speculate, because all kinds of reasons why he would decide to go junior college.
I'm just sort of, without knowing him without him going to another 4-year college, I guess that was my only thought there. Moving on, another young man that had committed, but we haven't heard anything yet, or have we?
He committed to East Carolina.
Okay.
He decommitted after Coach Simmons went to Duke.
Okay.
So there are like 2 or 3 players who decommitted when Coach Simmons. I think he's the only one, because Rodney Hill came back and Demore Tate actually signed. So of the 3 FSU players who had committed like right after the Celebration Bowl, I think he's the only one that didn't come to the team.
Quavion Carter, former Michigan State. I remember when he put himself back into the portal. Has he been picked up, or did he sign with somebody yet?
I've not seen.
Okay. All right. Well, we wish him the best. There's a lot of size there. Would have been nice. Would have been a nice addition, but
And he said he wanted to come here, because I think he did an interview with Gerald like right after signing that, because it was him, Asean Cobb, and a third person, I can't remember who, that did like a 1-minute interview, and he said he wanted to play close to home. So we'll see if that still holds true, with Coach Colzie now having the permanent job.
All right. I think we know most of the story with Sage Ennis. He decommitted and committed to somewhere back in the
Virginia.
ACC, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah,
University of Virginia.
Yeah, back in the ACC. So that's where he went. Jalen Smith, was curious where did he end up going?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't heard yet, but he was noticeably absent from our signing day list today.
Okay. And another
name.
I mean,
actually, he already signed, but he wasn't listed today. So I don't know if that means that.
We don't know if he signed with somebody else. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he supposedly signed with us in December, so I don't know what happened there.
Right. Well, I don't know if he. Well, yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, but once you sign, you can, once the coach leaves.
Yeah, you can. You get a 30-day window to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Defensive end Trayvon Washington from out of Coconut Creek, big guy, 6'4", 220, was committed. What do we know about him? What happened?
I haven't seen anything, because that last image I saw early signing day, I don't know what happened, but they showed a picture of Monarch High School signing day, and they had a spot with the orange and green balloons, and nobody was sitting there.
Oh,
And that was the
okay.
early signing there, so we don't know what happened. And I guess the irony is we got a preferred walk-on from the same school that young man Landon
Yeah.
earlier, same
Really?
school. And, the Monarch High School has been making progress. They made it to, I think, the regional finals this year, and they made it to the second round last year. So they're moving up, and they have some talent. They have some people that sign. See, Ashley says Jalen Smith tweeted that he decommitted tonight. Okay. So it's interesting to see how things fall.
Oh,
Let's see if I can catch up with that. Jalen Smith.
okay. Somebody said Jalen Smith tweeted that he decommitted tonight. Okay. Ashley, appreciate that, Ashley. Profile admits can do some great things. Okay. All right.
Did we talk about a baseball recruit?
Talking about our baseball recruit. Did Marcus?
Yeah, we talked about him a couple of weeks ago after Coach Shoop. I've forgotten his name. Wellington Hen, or I think that's his name. He actually signed today.
Yeah.
But we talked about him. He's on our 2024 baseball.
Oh, is that what that was? Okay, I saw that. I just didn't know.
He officially signed today, but Coach.
Okay.
Well, I guess I don't know if it was informal because I guess Coach shouldn't have mentioned his name if he hadn't officially signed. But I guess either a ceremony today or they just posted the picture today.
Gotcha.
And he's 6'2", 220 pitcher out of Plant City High School. And hopefully we got our signee for softball. The young lady that Coach Patterson mentioned, they're supposed to have our signing ceremony on January 31st, but I haven't seen any pictures on social media. For Sierra, what's Sierra's last name? She's out of Eustis High School, but she was the one that Coach Patterson was raving about.
And there's the schedule. 5 home games, beginning with South Carolina State. Obviously, we start the season in Atlanta against Norfolk State.
It'll be 6. SWAC championship host the SWAC championship game.
You're right.
Run it back.
6 home games. There's the schedule. First 12, and then the 2 weeks after the Florida Classic will be the SWAC championship game. The Miami game is a Saturday, South Florida. Nice big payday there. Then we travel up to Troy. Then we've got the Alabama schools. We are. Is it 3? We are three homecoming. We are the homecoming 3 times. Is that right, Marcus? Is that what we talked about? I know we're the homecoming opponent for Prairie View. We're the homecoming opponent for Alabama State.
That's at least 2. And I would not be surprised.
Jackson better not.
I would not be surprised.
They better not. You really think Jackson State would be foolish enough to schedule us for their homecoming? Do you think that would happen? I don't think that would happen. I don't know. Mr. Campbell, you let us know. You got all this.
We are.
What are they saying?
Hey, we already somebody homecoming. What you talking about?
We're 2 teams. That's what I'm just pointing out, Kelvin.
Right.
We're 2. I'm just saying. I mean, Jackson State gonna make us the 3rd? That's ridiculous. All right. No, he says we are not JSU's homecoming opponent. All right. Good.
Don't matter.
Yeah, they announced their schedule, but I didn't see.
Homecoming or not, it don't matter. We giving out L's.
Yeah, the Jackson State's playing. We've got Texas Southern for our homecoming there. So that's good. Right off the heels of Southern. So back-to-back interesting games. Southern at home, and then we'll talk. One thing I will say, if any of you guys catch you guys out there watching, if you catch my show with AD Drew on Sunday night, I did an interesting little breakdown on the SWAC schedule, just the schedule, the 8 games, and just kind of based it off of win-loss percentage from a year ago, and tried to look at who had the easy schedule, who had a difficult schedule going into the season.
But you going by last year's teams, and it's so many different coaches and
Sure,
stuff, so,
I get all that. I get all that. I know it's different when you look at the changes, but I tried to go off with just one solid piece of data, which is their record from a year ago.
While you looking at that, I will say this: 2 teams I think who had a great off season in the SWAC are both in the SWAC East. I thought Alabama State had a great off season, both with their personnel and, more importantly, their coaching staff. The people they brought in, I think, is pretty strong, and I would say Alabama A&M had a really good off season too, in terms of both personnel and coaches that they brought on, with South Carolina State former defense coordinator. So I think the SWAC East is going to be a beast. Bethune, we already predicted Bethune to be better and tough. So the East is going to be better than the West again.
Well, based on the East schedule in terms of crossover opponents, so Alabama State came out, in my opinion, based on the percentages, of having the toughest cross-division schedule, having to play Alcorn, Grambling, and Prairie View, who all finished in total 18-16 a year ago. The easiest actually goes to Jackson State, who plays Alcorn, UAPB, and Texas Southern, combined 12-21 from a year ago. Now for FAMU actually, by my data metrics, have the easiest home SWAC schedule,
but they have the hardest road schedule.
They got the hardest road, exactly, because on the road, we go to Jackson, we go to Prairie View, and Alabama
State.
Yeah. But in total, though, we have based on opponents from a year ago, we have the best chance, based off that win percentage, with Jackson State being number 2. So just to add more fuel and excitement to that Jackson State game, somebody, that game may very well decide who comes out of the East, as it has the last 3 seasons. And so I'll just
and we both got open dates before that game too.
Oh, that's beautiful. So no advantage. Everybody's coming in healthy, or at least rested. At least that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good, man. I can't wait to travel to Jackson. I'm actually looking forward to that. Looking forward to that trip. I'm looking forward to it. All right. What else did you ask me about, Kelvin? You asked before. Did I do what? You asked me before.
I don't know now.
Yeah. I'm trying to see. I don't have any other slides. Again, we got basketball at home this weekend. The women and the men playing Texas Southern and
PV is the Texas
PV.
Swing.
Yeah.
Of course,
On
the
Monday.
men lost to I don't.
We didn't talk about them. We're not going to talk about them until they get a W.
Okay. So we were focused on the women. And then softball, of course, home on Friday, doubleheader against Texas Tech. They deserve a great crowd on Friday for that doubleheader. Not too many times does our softball program get a chance to host and open their season at home. So thank God to the schedulers, Coach P or whoever else was a part of that. Did they let you tailgate out in the outfield at the softball field?
I mean, you mean the hillside?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, but I mean, people sit out there on the grass and stuff.
Yeah. It'd be. I think it'd be something cool if they had that set up where people could kind of tailgate and I don't know what you can drink or tailgate out there. I guess you can drink on campus. Just clean up after yourself. And then, of course, we got tennis at home as well. So it's a good sports weekend in Tallahassee for FAMU Athletics.
Let me clear up something they asking about our homecoming.
Yeah.
Which is the first Saturday in November. Florida State does have a game against the University of North Carolina the same day. So both football teams will be at home, but that is not Florida State homecoming. Also, Florida State has stadium renovations going on. So their capacity is going to be like 25,000 people less this year. So their stadium holds 79,000 because there'll still be some construction going on. They're only going to have capacity of about 55,000 this year. But but Florida State's homecoming is later on in November. I think when we play Bethune in Orlando.
That's interesting. So did Florida State go with the day? Are they hoping to have all their stuff done by the end of the
2025? It'll be finished before the 2025 season.
Oh wow! So they're doing major.
I think that's when they play Alabama too. I don't know if they're playing them at home.
Well, good luck to them.
Because I think it's a home. It's either a home and home or a neutral site, but I think it's a home and home. So they're trying to gear up for that.
Yeah. Last thing I want to share is make sure we share again our tennis fundraiser. The tennis program, as you can see, the tennis fundraiser has a $10,000 goal. They're just a hit over that halfway mark. You see the timer.
Championship program. Let's do it.
27 hours. That's hours, not days. That's 27 hours left. So just a little over a day. So sometime you can make a donation in any number of ways. 500, 2,500, 150, 100, 500. You can donate. There's some great donors contributing to our tennis program. You can too. Find a way to donate. I'll put that link. I put the link in there. Let me see if it's still in here. I'll put it in there one more time for you guys in the chats. That tennis fundraiser link right there. Go ahead and support our tennis program, championship tennis program. Everybody did such a great job with softball, helping them to realize their mark. All right. Also, I think the track team is on the road as well. They are let's see, prepping for the Windy City Invite this weekend. That's right. They're traveling up to Chicago. So if you know any Rattlers in the Chicago area, the Dr. Worrell Indoor Track Facility is where they will be, competing against a host of Big Ten schools. That event is apparently being hosted by the University of Wisconsin. They'll take on athletes from UW, Minnesota, Purdue, Iowa, Michigan, Michigan State, Indiana, Rutgers, a lot of Big Ten names there, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and others. So that's who will be competing in that. Event start at 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday. It says 12:30 a.m. on Saturday. That's got to be 12:30 p.m. I don't think anybody is, I don't think anybody's coming out at midnight or just past midnight to go to a track meet. I don't think so.
Especially in Chicago.
Yeah, especially in Chicago. Yeah. You got me messed up. So safe travels to our Rattlers, the men and women who are traveling to Windy City. I know it'll be cold, so thank God they're indoors. But yeah, so shout out. Hopefully the Chicago alumni chapter can get out and support. We got a championship track program. I got a good feeling. I don't know if it's gonna be men, women, or both, but I got a feeling somebody might be coming back with a team title. Somebody might be coming back, and I think that title is a couple, or those championships are in a couple weeks away.
Yeah. What, you mean indoors?
Indoor, yeah. Actually,
Yeah,
it's the next
yeah.
meet. Yeah, February
Yeah, yeah.
17th. So next weekend. So this is the last tune-up before the SWAC indoors, which are in Birmingham, by the way. Okay. Wow, man, good stuff. Any meat that we left on the bone, Marcus, regarding recruiting? I know we'll maybe update and kind of do a final thing next week, because I know actually Coach Colzie is out recruiting tonight. Maybe we can do a final with him next week. Hopefully, if we get him on the show as expected.
He's going to a Nike clinic.
Oh, he's in a clinic. Okay.
Yeah, he's flying out. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's why they did the show early. They didn't say, he said he was traveling, but
yeah,
he did it early today.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I saw some people asking about the recruiting coordinator position. I'm curious, what do you guys think? Before we last thing I'll ask you guys. A couple people had said, what do we need to pay to get a recruiting coordinator, and just some other comments about needing a recruiting coordinator. What's your guys' take or thoughts on that?
Well, I thought it worked out pretty well, and Coach Simmons seemed to laud its praises. So we'll see if that's something that if Coach Colzie wants to pursue it. We'll see if that's what the department wants to support. That's one of the more important things too. What was negotiated, but it seemed like it worked out pretty good for him. Now, I don't know if he can find somebody with the same veracity. Yeah.
Right. We only had him for 2 years. The first few years, Coach Simmons didn't have a separate recruiting coordinator. The recruiting coordinator was a position coach also, and so and that didn't impact recruiting. So, it works both ways. So I do think we have some guys on staff that potentially could do a pretty good job at it if need be. But I am interested to see what Coach Rowe and what his role will be when he comes back. Billy Rowe.
No, marching paparazzi. No, thank you. Bryan, you're on mute.
Yeah, the Ed Reed thing. Yeah, I saw that earlier. He say, Marcus, nah, you good?
Not for me. I mean, somebody else may have a different opinion, and that's fine. But I'm not sure that that would be the wisest decision, just in my opinion, either as recruiting coordinator or anything else.
Well, it's on the coaches. I'm fine with whatever the coaches say. I mean, those guys have tentacles. A lot of coaches have tentacles in the South Florida area. He's connected to them. I know that those guys have a back channel. At least Coach Colzie do have a back channel relationship too with Dion. I know those kind of names have relationships with that person too. So I mean, if that's what he wanted to do, I'd be okay with it. Head coach, I wouldn't have been. I would have a different position. But if he was willing and they wanted to do that, it wouldn't bother me.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd have to roll with it. I might not, be 100% like, see how it works out. But I guess I'm not seeing the bigger picture. But I agree with Ashley C. I thought Coach Roll, if we were just to pick and choose, Coach Roll would be good to fit that recruiting coordinator role based on his connections. And I would suggest having him pair up with somebody, to do some of the traveling if he focused on South Florida and have someone else do the other traveling, because Riz was going everywhere, Louisiana and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. If Coach Henry gets the OC, who's the OL coach? I don't know.
Well,
I mean, he would do both.
Yeah, and before we had, up until, well, actually, I guess throughout the whole tenure, Coach Simmons has been a co-offensive coordinator, OL coach between Alex Jackson, and then when he left, I can't remember. We had the short term, the guy that just got hired at some other place. I can see his name, Klinakis. And then after that, we had, I can see him too. He was at Austin P. Now is their offensive coordinator, O-line coach. And then Coach Henry's co-offensive coordinator. So since what Coach Simmons has been there, we've had a combo position. We haven't had separate. And we don't know if there are enough.
I don't think we've ever had. I don't think we ever had that be the case. Just like on the defense side of the ball, we always had the D-line coach was the defensive coordinator, and then when he left and went to Marshall, Smitty Rock took over, and he was linebacker and defensive coordinator.
You got to tell me. You got to tell me what that bigger picture is. I don't know what I don't know if you're just talking about Ed Reed locking down South Florida.
Resources and stuff like that. But that's subjective.
Mm-hmm.
But and whether it's a cultural fit, fam, we talk so much. We talk so much. You can't be sensitive.
EA on this one. I agree with you on this one about being a true OC and O-line coach. I think in the role that
I don't. What you basing that on, though? What you basing it on? Everywhere you look, even in the pros, the OC usually, but definitely in college, everywhere you look in college, they position coaches. Now, pros got like 3-4 coaches for every position, so it ain't the same. Like KJ Black. We didn't mention this. KJ Black is going to Atlanta Falcons.
Y'all, of course we didn't mention it. Of course we didn't mention it. Only two of us are Falcons fans. So yes, of course you guys want to mention that. I mean, but shout out to Coach KJ moving closer back to the South. So hopefully I don't know. It's still as an offensive assistant. I'd love to see KJ Black as an OC. Maybe I'm just saying. I don't know.
Coach Campbell must be a Saints fan,
or a Bucks fan. One of the two. Anyway, All right. One last question, Kelvin, and this is somebody who pointed out regarding the track record. About the Shaka Perkins says that we may never we may never had a female run 211 indoors, and that it may be a difference between indoor and outdoor records. So,
MEAC Indoor Track Championship 2012, 800 meters, 2:10.72. Ariel Allen. I told you they gave me receipts.
Ariel Allen, FAMUing?
Yes.
Huh. All right.
2:10.72.
Well. And what year? In 2012. So that wasn't but 11 years ago, huh? All right. Well, I would encourage whomever to send that to Sports Information Director Joshua Padilla and make him aware of that. Not to dump on the parade of the young lady who
yeah,
but more so, like I said, we want to Ariel earn that 210. She deserves to still have that 210 on record at FAMU, and obviously being 1 second away from it could get broken. So, all right. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed our look at the 2024 class, the Run It Back class, as Kelvin appropriately dubbed them. And I'm sure there'll be some names that'll be added because, Marcus, we had some 40 some odd available spots, at least over 30 available spots, right? And so far, I don't think we've only filled half of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you just go by the number of seniors and grad students we had last year. We got at least 30 spots across the different positions that theoretically have come open.
Right.
Now, I don't know how many of those are returning people, but still.
Yeah, we had a total of, what was it? We counted them up. I thought
like 40. It's like
41. Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
41. But I think about 11 of those, 10 of those had the opportunity to come back.
Okay.
So and we've seen some of those names, as a matter of fact.
Well, given that group of 30 to 40 players, we've only seen so far 18, maybe close to 20. And I think what we'll now watch to see is what names cycle onto the list over the next few days, because there always are. And maybe there'll be some guys who come back.
Yeah, you got some offers still out there, and then of course after the spring game, I believe the portal 2 days later the portal opens up.
Right.
So
the spring game is April 13th.
Second window.
Yeah.
April 13th, and the second portal window will be on the 15th, where I think you'll see some guys decide that they want to maybe, if they get some film from the spring, that they'll get an opportunity elsewhere. So it never ends.
And they want to evaluate. You want to evaluate what you have first, at this point, and see what your inventory is like, and your roster management. So it makes sense for when we made our hire and transition and to get through the spring first and leave some spots available for some of those guys who get some unrest at those Power Fives and so forth.
Mm-hmm. You guys did guess correctly. Campbell's a Saints fan. Yeah, good guess. All right, softball this weekend. Again, I got a feeling I'm making a Super Bowl prediction real quick. Chiefs or Niners? Who you got? Kelvin?
I got to go with the new Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Until you beat him.
Only Tom Brady beat him, right? Only Tom Brady can beat him. So far, that's what it's been, right? What do you got, Marcus? Chiefs, Niners.
Yeah, I'll pull for the Chiefs. Well, I'm not pulling for them, but I'll pick the Chiefs. The 49ers beat my Falcons up way back in the day. We're same division, so haven't gotten over that yet.
Well, you hold on to stuff, don't you, Marcus? I love it. I love it. You act like the Niners. You acting like the Niners are the like y'all got a rivalry with them or something. Y'all don't have no rivalry with them.
Well, yeah, well, we tried.
Right. I'm going Chiefs as well. Give me, like you said, the new Tom Brady. Give me Patrick Mahomes. If I'm just not buying that Brock Purdy's going to outplay Patrick Mahomes. Now, you can't count turnovers or mistakes, things like that. But the Chiefs' defense looks like it's pretty solid. And all things considered, if the Niners have a good defense, Chiefs got a good defense, give me the team with the better quarterback. Because we've seen quarterbacks win Super Bowls and championships. And plus, that's what the script is written. What? Come on now. The script says Chiefs. Y'all know that. Y'all just denying the inevitable. So we can get 20 million shots of Swifties and that Travis Travis Kelce that you got over there, Marcus, looking good. And yeah. Anyway, I do want to take a second and give a shout out to FAMU alum Eugene Thomas, the first FAMU football player to participate in a Super Bowl. He was he's a running back on the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl I. And by the last count, I found an interesting article from 2017 that had FAMU ranked third among most HBCUs with players that attended or played in a Super Bowl. 27 players at that time. I don't know if there's any since 2017. But at that time, Tennessee State had 32 players. Grambling had 28. Southern had 26. And Jackson State had 23. Those were the numbers, of the top 5 schools with Super Bowl alumni. I don't know if FAMU has had since Super Bowl 49 when Bryan Timms played with the Patriots. I don't know if we have had a FAMU in the Super Bowl.
Well, thanks for that history lesson. That just seals it for me. I was rooting for Kansas City anyway.
I just thought I'd add that. Well appropriate. Appreciate you, John. 24/7. FAMU is the #1 class in FCS, as we should. So we'll give us something to brag about tomorrow morning when we wake up and get on social media, and I'm sure we'll have fun doing it. So I want to thank everybody in the chats for following along. Hope you enjoyed this extended coverage of signing day. Please share it with your friends and your family. Let them know. Make sure you're following the show. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at ONG StrikeZone is where you can find us. And appreciate everybody for watching. Download
back.
Yeah,
still.
Run it back.
Champions still.
Well said. Not the pose. For Marcus Green and Kelvin Rozier, I'm Brian Fulford. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend. Good luck to our teams. Good luck to you Rattlers who are traveling near and far to go support. Things up. Strike hard, strike harder, and strike fastest. Strike first. There you go. Good night, everybody. Be well. Peace out.
Thank you.